Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. It's your favorite crew, the Sip and Chat Relationship Flow crew. And I am on the road and moving through the world. And when I become stationed, I will become on screen. But in the meanwhile, so that means I'm not sipping anything but H2O behind the wheel, of course, being safe. Of course. Doc, how you doing?
I'm good. Besides this big echo, I think I'm doing okay.
Okay. We'll work through the technology. What you sipping on?
I am sipping on H2O as well, but I also had beer on the side. You know me. I like my beers.
Right.
Every now and then. And so that's what I'm enjoying tonight. Okay. I had a cheesesteak for dinner.
Oh.
I'm glad Daryl clicked off.
Right.
Well, let me correct myself. I had a half a cheesesteak. I didn't eat the whole thing.
But the night is still young?
Yes. Yes. But you know what I do? When I eat poorly, I go all out. So I'll eat the cheesesteak. I'll have a bad drink with it.
Right.
And then, when I'm eating healthy, I eat healthy.
Right. And you drink semi-healthy.
Yeah. No, for the most part, I do drink healthily. I drink water. Well, yeah, except for sipping chat. But I drink water most of the time. It's either water or tea.
Same here.
So when I go all out, I go all out. And I don't feel deprived because I feel like I can have what I want when I want it.
I was just thinking about that because I love all forms of potatoes. And I put myself on a potato chip restriction. I lasted for 3 weeks. And that's improvement. I mean, I've done it where I've gone like months, but this time I lasted for 3 weeks. And on Wednesday, I had the craving, and so I got the chips, and I was okay. And I was about to buy chips like maybe an hour ago, and I said, nope, you already had the chips, so you okay.
Yeah, I think it's when you feel deprived. Is when you can get out of control.
Yeah, because then you go overboard. You're not counting no numbers. You're not looking at serving sizes. You're not looking at none of that.
That's right.
And for women, I'm not saying that men don't experience this, but for women, sometimes our body just simply craves things.
Yes.
That are either healthy or not healthy.
Yes. And I'm not this person. I don't have a sweet tooth at all.
Right.
I am a savory, salty person.
So somebody Facebook you that says let them in, Doc. You got them?
I don't even see them on they're not coming up.
I got it. Okay, he got a delay.
There we go.
Oh, okay. There we go with the deep voice. There we go.
That was crazy.
It is. Why you Facebook user and you on the panel every Friday?
I checked the stream. I don't know. But I just checked in to see if we can hear it there, and it's crazy.
Go on mute, Mary, and let's see if we still hear it.
Now I can't hear you, so I don't know what you're saying.
You can't hear me?
No.
So she said, could you go on mute, Mary, so she can to see if the echo goes away. Okay, Mary's on mute. I see her mute.
Okay.
And there's no echo. Oh, I know what's happening. I think I know what's happening. Mary, on your car. Yeah, so probably what's happening is that your car, whatever, and it's going through the speakers and then going through the microphone.
So So
That's why we're echoing.
Because of my Bluetooth?
You may. It may be. It shouldn't be, but maybe. Whatever it is, we're here. All
right, how we doing? Okay? How we doing?
We're good.
Yes.
Echo going.
It's going.
And I'm like y'all on a whisper, but okay.
The man saves the day once again.
I heard the laugh, but as long as the echo is because we want our audience to be able to hear everything we say,
yes,
from current events to our lovely topics we have this evening. So we will make it work.
Right. And you sound great, Mary. To let you know, you sound good. You're coming through nice and crisp. So you sound great.
Thank God for Android.
Now the audience can hear everything we say once. Well, the Android has echoing a minute ago, so it's not.
The Bluetooth for the car of Nissan has echo.
I don't know. I use Bluetooth all the time, and we ain't never had an echo. So I'm gonna go with the Android.
Yeah, but then you pop off all the time. I don't know.
Right. You know what I mean? But that's how I know it works well.
Okay.
Daryl, how's your week? How you checking in? How you coming in? You coming at us already? How's your week?
I was not coming at us. I was coming at the Android phone.
So I'm the owner and the subscriber.
The week has been well thus far. It's been a good week. So I couldn't get around much because I hurt myself last week, sprained both ankles at the same time. So I've been hobbling around for last week. I feel a little better now.
Okay, well, I'm glad you feel better.
Yeah. Did you hit your head on the ceiling jumping up?
Right?
No, I was playing volleyball and I landed on somebody's foot and sprained both ankles at the same time. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's because you
like grapefruit. Well, I mean, it's part of volleyball jumping. It was, and the guy came under the net. Really, he came under the net, which allowed me to land on his foot and sprain both of my ankles. It was a terrible deal. Terrible. I wanted to cry, but there's just too many people there, so I waited until I got alone.
Yeah, we don't want no shame or guilt to happen from tears happening.
Right. It's okay for men to cry, just not in front of people. That's how I felt. Like, I know I could cry, but I didn't want to. I wait till I home.
Like, I want to, but no.
Right. I fought it back with everything I had.
Right.
I got kept
back in.
Yeah. Anything I could do, hold my breath. I was not going to let them tears roll. They was not going to see me that vulnerable. It was not going to happen.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
So,
yeah.
So we know that you either have some kind of green tea jug or some H2O jug. And we're glad
I don't ever have I ever have an H2O jug because water is disgusting. I need to drink more, but I just haven't really. It's just not good.
Then your skin will get dehydrated as well as you.
What?
Well, so I get a lot of teas and stuff. So was that water you were drinking, Doc? Oh, such a fancy bottle. You're just fancy. I didn't know what that was. I'm like, that vodka? She going in like that? I didn't know what she was drinking. Okay. But I drink a lot of teas and things of that nature. Water just it's tough for me to get down. Unless I'm really thirsty after doing that activity. So that's my challenge, to try to drink more water. But it's really tough. It's really tough.
Yeah, from a fitness person.
Right.
Well, I mean, just because you're a fitness, I mean, you're
still perfect. Human, but fitness.
We have limitations.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like, it's like you're a Christian. You're Christian. You're perfect. No, you're not. You have limitations. You do time. We know we should do maybe most of the time. We just don't. Sometimes we can't do it. Like, I know I should drink water. This is disgusting. So I try to find other ways to get it, and really green tea. I green tea myself to death. That's where I'm at.
Oh goodness. So what current events do we have? I actually had two. I remember one.
I can't get to the second one because
Okay.
I'm driving.
Well, shoot.
The Jussie Smollett situation.
Is that really? I mean, we knew he was guilty from back when it happened. We knew he was guilty from when it happened. When the stuff started coming out, and he's walking around with the noose on his neck, like, and he found the 2 African dudes that helped him. You're guilty. I mean, was this a surprise? You know, it's like, okay, I just don't understand the purpose. That's why, and we still don't get the reason he did it. I would want to know that. Not that it changes something. The reason he did it. I want to get the reason he did it. Like, what made him do that? What did he want from it? What did he think he would gain from it? What was the purpose?
He was trying
and that's
to
what I don't. It doesn't make any rational sense to do
in
it.
his record.
Say that again.
A lot of berries and cherries at one time.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I said he was trying. He said that he was trying.
She said she was
his record sold.
Oh, that's what he said. That's what he said. Oh,
that's what apparently in the guilty verdict. It was because he was trying to get his record sold or get like more attention to him being on Empire, because remember he was also asking for a raise.
Oh, so I didn't know that. They say
I thought he pled not
publicity
guilty.
Is good publicity.
He did plead not guilty.
So when did he admit that?
All 5 counts. Guilty.
I think it was 6 counts, but he was found guilty of 5.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Okay.
I think there was one they didn't do 1. I think it was 6. He was charged 6, and he was found guilty of 5. If I'm not mistaken. You guys can write in if I'm wrong. Probably not though.
Oh goodness. You probably not though.
So yeah, I'm probably not though. That's very interesting. That's very interesting.
You know that though is that he represents different classifications that now like he lives in the LGBTQ community. He's a Black male. Now will people take individuals seriously based off of his ill intentions?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he, because to me he's more about.
Wait, say that again.
To me he's I don't delete that comment. Delete it. Just delete it. Okay? Delete it. Delete it.
Hey Neil.
You're banned. You're banned. You're banned for 5 minutes, Neil. You're banned.
Why? Cause she a little tardy?
No, because what she said. She said, "Hey fam and me." You're outside the fam. I don't like that. I ain't like that. I think she's trying to be smart. This early in the show.
You don't just get a regular high, you get extra love.
No, high. I know what that meant. I know what that was. Like it was begrudgingly she had to say me as well. Just block her comments from the rest of the show. But I think Jesse is more of an outlier in the sense that, like, I don't think that he speaks for the community. I don't think he spoke for the community before that. So I don't think that, because I don't, either way, like when it happened, you see people coming to his, sending out condolences and things of that nature because they knew him as an actor. It wasn't because he was gay or anything, because he's an actor. So I don't see that really being the community either embracing it or not embracing it. If something happened to a person, I don't think that represents the community at all, from what I see. So I don't think they would connect that to if something happened to somebody else. I don't think they would automatically jump to that to begin with. But I mean, that train of thought is usually already there anyway. They don't want to be that population to begin with. So
true. He just made it more difficult, I think.
Right. I see. Okay, I don't think he was a big enough person in that community. He wasn't really. I don't think he had any, like, I didn't see a big following he had. I didn't see people coming out to watch the show. He was on there or anything. I don't think he was even that well known to be honest. He wasn't
Right.
that vital in the movement of that count. Yeah, I don't think so. I personally don't think so.
Right. Doc, what you think? I actually got another question for you too related to this thing too. But what do you think? Yeah.
What do I think about the case or just in general? I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really formed an opinion about it.
Okay.
I thought that if this is what he did, it was real messed up.
Right.
I don't care what you're trying to sell. You don't put something out there like that.
Right.
Knowing the climate at the time. Or knowing the climate in general.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense to me. And I like what Daryl was saying, why? I would want to know why.
Yeah.
But if he's pleading not guilty, he's still saying he didn't do it. Basically.
Absolutely. His discernment is off.
well, and I want to expand on Doc. I mean, just her, like she said, she don't have no feeling towards it. And I think that's everybody. That's what I said. He doesn't make you feel anything real. Like somebody did something. We look to see what happened, but that's it. No one's really, people not down there protesting either way. It's like a regular court case from somebody in the block. That's Pookie in the block. And you heard, you got found guilty? Oh, okay, cool. But nobody got any vested interest. It doesn't seem like people are interested in it either way. That's how I feel about it. It's not really either way. People are not championing it. It's just something that happened. We hear it and we move on.
I'm curious about the psychology behind it. That's the question I was going to ask you.
well,
that's the question I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Because the psychology has so many
more to it
patterns that this lends to, like in regards to you pre-calculated, pre-planned. You planned this whole thing. Like what preoccupation led you to this, to build your career or to sell your album or whatever your intentions were.
Right. And you brought other people into it.
I believe it's much more. Well, yeah, I think it was much more than we know. I think there was other ulterior motives that were going on there. They were really trying to do something, and we don't know. He had to actually fall on the sword, I believe, to swallow a lot of what really happened. But that, I mean, it just doesn't make sense for him to want to do it for record sales or for people to tune into the show more. I think it has to be more. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you bring two other people in it that sold you down the river real quick.
Right.
Well, they said they're not going to lose their getting cards here because of this fool.
Right.
Like, no, we were acting. We thought it was an acting job. We were auditioning.
Yes.
That's what we thought this was an audition.
Yes. So I am really curious about the psychology behind it, and I'm wondering if they even recommended a psychological evaluation during this case.
And I wonder that too. It's like I don't remember hearing of one, but I think that if they needed some real answers, that's the journey that they need to go down and pay attention to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't care enough to get real answers. Right? They don't care. It's not that important. He's not that big of a person. First of all, he's not that big of a personality. He's found guilty. Is everybody talking about it? People are briefly going over, but I haven't seen nobody going dead. I heard people like, yo, you heard Jesse Smollett? He got found guilty out of 6 out of, and then they kind of rehash what happened,
It was all over my thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see any posts about it.
Yeah, none. Zero, Mary, zero. No one cares, right? No one cared about him with it.
I don't really care But I was like, oh, I got a news thing for that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm gonna let you know. In the streets, nobody cares about Juicy. All right. Nobody cares about Juicy. Juicy. Nobody cares about Juicy.
All right. Maybe because Juicy also represents Chicago and PA, so maybe that's it.
No, he don't. Ain't nobody claiming him. Nobody claiming that dude. maybe that's why no one's talking about him around here, because they like, we don't want him connected to us in no such way. We don't want to connect it. We won't talk about him around here. This tri-state, we ain't talking about him. Too close.
Oh man, I like his song, the ha ha ha. No comment.
What did you say?
We didn't hear what you said.
I like his song, the one, I don't know, it's like ha ha ha.
Oh, I don't know that.
I don't know. Only song I remember he had was big was the one when he said something about like when a man loves a man. It was in the show, and that's when he kind of came out. It's like, and a man loves a man. Everybody, that's the only song. The only one I remember. That one was big for the show. That one was hitting for the show.
Was that for the Empire TV show though?
Yes, it was on the show.
Yes.
I remember that song.
It was on the show, and it actually got traction outside of the show as well. It was definitely a kind of a good.
And I think that's when he started, when he went on like the TV show circuit, because he was on like Good Day or one of those shows singing.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay, check him out.
Right, and that's when he had his big out. He came out kind of. He showed how he came out, and then for a couple seconds, and then he went back to just being he's just a small lion. He was like a turtle. Small lion. Out for a second, and then went back in. Right.
Yeah.
All right, we got any other current events?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm doing all right. How are y'all?
Good. So there was a story that I saw online about this man who found out that his children weren't his after he had raised them. He found out his children were not his.
Ooh,
after he raised them.
How many?
3. So
that's choking words.
Yeah. So he raised these kids after the kids were out of the house, and after him and his wife had separated, he was just by chance in a medical examination and found out he had cystic fibrosis. And most people with cystic fibrosis are infertile men.
Can't have kids.
They can't have kids. So it made him question. He asked his ex-wife. She said, no, those kids are yours. But when he asked his oldest son, he told his oldest son about the cystic fibrosis and the fact that usually they can't have kids. So he was talking to his son about, how he felt about this. And at this time, his son was in his 20s. And so the son asked mom, and mom admitted to the son that she had an affair, like a 20-year affair, and that his dad may not be his dad. So dad actually went and tested the 2 youngest, who are still, they were still out of the home and in college, I guess. But he had them tested and they weren't his. The oldest son refused to get tested because he said, this is my dad. He raised me. I don't want to do the test.
Right. Yes. Right.
But with the proof of the 2 youngest, he was able to sue her for paternal fraud.
Wow. This happened overseas, didn't it?
Yes. One for $300,000.
Oh, but it can't happen here.
But it happens here all the time.
It does.
I mean, come on, Daryl. We're in the business. Mm-hmm. We know.
But here is nothing. You can't do anybody for it, because a lot of times they say what happens is when you had that kid, you need to check paternity at birth, right? And if you don't check it at birth, that's on you, because here you don't really, you kind of sign saying you're taking ownership of something. The birth certificate is like you're taking ownership of something. It doesn't say this is naturally yours, that you're taking ownership of something. So if you've been signing up for a car or anything else, you're taking ownership of something. So they're like, okay, we never asked you was it biologically yours. You accepted this baby is yours. Yeah. It's you.
And I've seen that on those judge shows where the judge will say, well, you took care of the kid for 10, 15 years.
And guess what? Sometimes they make you continue because you have to continue that way of life.
Yes.
So they're like, you need to, they said you need to ask, I don't know if your wife or whatever, ask that question, have that paternity at birth. And that's the only way to ensure that that child is biologically yours. Because after that, you accept that child and all that comes with it.
I think in this situation, the man had no reason to suspect. None whatsoever.
Don't matter. That's what I said here. Here, they're like, it doesn't matter. You're supposed to. I see a lot of people, I go all the time, and they be like, listen, this doesn't say that you're the natural father. This says you're taking ownership. You are saying, I'm going to take care of this baby. I'm taking custody of this child. That's what you're signing for. So if you have any questions, you better do that at birth or before you sign that legally binding contract for 18 plus years.
I believe in paternity tests.
Right.
Even while being married.
This is a case to show you. I'm sorry, real fast. This is a case that shows you that you can't trust women.
What? Seriously?
3 times.
Oh, in this, I remember the story.
3.
She was banging somebody from the job for 20 years. Somebody she worked with.
Yes.
I remember this. 20 years.
Yes. 20 plus years.
That person gets off scot-free because they co-workers and it's supposed to be in secret.
Say that again, Mary.
Are we saying that the father of the 3 children is from a co-worker that was in the closet? Like they was banging each other in the closet?
Yes.
So they get off scot-free.
This is right.
Yes.
So that's crazy. So at least here, sometimes I think some states have where if you cheat, the person, you can sue them. So you got to sue the whoever the side joint is.
Cheater.
Yeah,
Yes, you can
side joint. Yeah, I can sue you if I'm married. Yeah. But see, that's the problem, because 2 problems I have. I want to get a psychic eval on this man who had 3 kids who didn't care nothing about him and kept going back to the well. Like, where are you at? You just having these kids and you care nothing about them? Like, how's that work? You just shoot the club and having these kids and you no ownership. You're not hanging out with them. You're doing nothing. How do you do that? And the woman, how you let
Isn't that the same mindset of how Jesse would do what he did?
Daryl, you going in slow motion.
I was like, he sound like he
Slow
underwater.
motion for me. Slow motion for me. Slow motion for me. Move it slow.
Yeah, what do you think about his slow motion?
I like it like that. Never mind.
Yeah.
You sound like that song. I like it like that.
Yes. Don't know how to act. Yeah, that's one of my jams. But, in PA, some people move on and separate, but we don't have legal separation, but they still married on paper. If you're not divorced, by the time you push out that baby, your husband is pulling the birth certificate, not the baby daddy. In PA, if you don't get divorced before, if the baby's not your husband's, but y'all not living together, you're not together.
Wow, that's interesting.
It's another thing people have to be concerned about. You got to officially cut ties if you don't want your husband, if it's not his baby, but you want the real daddy's name on the birth certificate. You can't be married.
Yeah, but then another thing, this is my
you can't be married.
So in the state of PA,
what it can't say, you can't be.
But look, if in the state of PA, if you're married, right? Let's say y'all married on paper, y'all haven't been together 4 or 5 years. You move on, get pregnant by somebody else. Before you give birth to the baby, you have to get divorced. If you don't get divorced, your husband's name goes on the birth certificate and not the baby's father, even if he's claiming paternity. In PA. So there's been I've been in those situations, not me personally, but family members.
We know that you've been married for that 5,000 years.
Since she was 12. She got engaged when she was 12.
I mean, so that's one thing that can get real sticky.
Yeah,
Like
of
the person
course.
still ain't trying to sign these papers.
That's very
But like,
interesting.
yo, if
That's
you don't
very
sign these
interesting.
papers, you're gonna be on the birth certificates because I'm legally married to you, but the baby's father is claiming paternity. But legally,
That's deep.
it's gonna end up on the husband if they don't get divorce papers by the time the baby comes.
Wow.
There's
And
something else about custody in the state of Pennsylvania. If there's child support in arrears, that both parents and the child cannot travel abroad. Like they can't travel, leave the state or whatever. They'll be stopped at TSA or whatever.
Wow.
Correct.
So
There's
if one person owes, everybody suffers.
Yeah.
Right.
But that seems weird because now I can make you not do stuff like I ain't gonna pay. Now you ain't going on that trip.
You're not going on no trips.
Also
Yes,
in PA,
and
Right now I can
both
be petty.
parents have to sign for a passport.
and agree, but here's the problem.
And they have to, yes, they agree. So if one parent is being, that person that says I'm not going to sign, then again, you can't go on any trip. You can't take your kids.
Nah,
but here's the other thing.
Well, you can go to court and get that taken care of.
But here's the other thing: if you're not married, but y'all together, but y'all break up, y'all have this child, and
why do we keep taking?
You're just trying to do like basic stuff. Like if you don't establish, not paternity, not in the hospital, but if you don't establish legal and physical custody rights, then you can call let's say the mother has the kid for 3 months and you the father and don't see a kid. If you call the police and be like, my child got kidnapped,
right?
Do you have an order? Do you have a legal or physical custody order? If not, it's not considered kidnapping.
Not
so
at
they
all.
could be gone forever and you never see your child. So you have to establish that, especially if you're not married.
That's pretty much everywhere. You know what I mean? Custody is pretty much joint at that point in the beginning.
But you know how many people don't do legal or
Most
custody
people don't.
And not together?
Most people don't.
Most people don't.
Most people aren't even aware.
And then that means
they would say my kid lives with me, so I have custody, but that's not true.
And nobody talks about
that. They both have custody. None has more than the other. So like if they're with one, that's the parent. Whoever has them has them. Right? If you don't establish anything, so if I have the kid, the cops can't come take it from me and you.
Right.
But here's the thing: if you don't establish legal or physical custody with the courts, if y'all not married, guess who can come in and swoop in and file for custody and get the kid? The grandparents on either side. The grandparents.
Wow.
And
yeah, but I mean, they can't just swoop in. They can't swoop in. I don't think. So they got to notify everybody. And you go, like, no, you can't take them. Then you get custody.
No, the parents. Grandparents and PA have rights too. So grandparents. No,
everybody has a right to file. The grandparents, you'd have to notify them before you can do anything. And unless the parents say no, we don't want them, but all the parents got to do is show up and let that down. It's not that big of a deal. Anybody can file a motion. I can file a motion right now for your kids. And if they know everybody who can, you be like, I'm the mom and I get out of here. So anybody can file a motion at a time.
Right, but then the systems in Pennsylvania don't communicate because then those grandparents that assume custody of those children,
they do.
When they go to enroll their children in schools or try to get medical care, like public assistance or any type of form of assistance for the grandparent is non-existent because the systems don't communicate to show support for them taking care of their grandkids.
Well, again, that's on the person who gets custody. When you get custody, you need to go to all those agencies and show your custody paperwork and right. The agencies are not going to do it for you because the agencies don't talk. They're totally different agencies, and with rights of confidentiality, they can't just be spreading this out there. So it's up to you to do it. So once you get paperwork, you got to keep going. You got to go down here and get this, go here, get this, get so all that stuff you have to gain. So it's not the fault of systems. That's the fault of you not following through and doing all the getting everything that you need done.
It just gets real sticky.
It does. It does. It shows some boundaries.
And these are the things that people don't think about before they have kids.
Man, they thinking about, let me hang from the pole and the chandelier and get this moment in.
most of the time they ain't thinking about kids. They just happen to come.
Right.
Yes, that's
You
right.
what?
I mean,
You
let's say
pregnant?
just look at
How'd
somebody.
that happen? How'd
It
that
wasn't
happen?
me.
Huh?
That is not usually the first question. The first question is,
Whose is it?
whose is it?
Are you sure it's mine? Are you sure?
Hey,
Yeah.
so
You
I
was
got.
reckless with me. You probably was reckless with other people.
Oh, absolutely. Well, usually, usually gonna be like, who's is it? Because I know how you get down.
Now you want to insult her. Now you want to insult her.
But
you was a
honestly,
hoe
they
when
be
I met you. I had it on the first night.
I wasn't the only one you was talking to. I know you had other friends before you
we
met
didn't
me.
care about friends. We don't care about friends. We're like, I know I fucked on the first night, so I know how you easy. You easy.
That Grey Goose make her lose.
It wasn't even Grey Goose. It was hello, hello. I know how you get down. I know how you get down. That bitch for the streets.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
And then people be dodging, getting a paternity test. Oh, that ain't mine.
Paternity test. That's when I better get that 350, 400 up. I got this 400 for you.
It's free in the hospital.
It's free in the
When the
hospital,
baby
you
come
said?
out. Yeah, when you
No,
get
I'm talking about the baby not even coming out. I got this $400 for you. I'm gonna turn you into a murderer. I'm gonna turn you into a murderer.
I guess.
Oh my God, how you gonna get turned into a murderer? That's
you about to kill this baby. Yeah, you about to kill this
All
baby.
I
I'm gonna
say,
turn you
ladies,
into a murderer.
I mean, all I say, if either parent want to be absent, make sure you get their last 4 of their social and their full name so you can get life insurance. I don't know. Pseudo child support.
People ain't worry about wife. They worry about day-to-day support. Life. we worry about Pampers today. You know how much Pampers cost?
Right?
I need your social child support order in.
Oh, I use cloth diapers.
Wow.
Can't be dropping nuggets on the love.
I'm good.
Ain't nobody got for no cloth diapers.
Man, I tried that the first couple months. I was like, this is
Well, no,
Yeah,
because I use inserts in the middle.
That's for the birds.
But I use disposables for out the house.
okay.
Yeah, I'm disposable in the house too.
Oh, but they work. I'm old school.
Yeah, they more work. You gotta wash them. You gotta. Nah, I'm good.
You have the system. It ain't that hard.
I know it's not that hard. I'm gonna pay for this convenience. I'm gonna pay this $36 for 5 for convenience.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
They're expensive. They're expensive, boy.
All right, so tonight's conversation is about boundaries.
Yes.
And that boundaries are good thing. It helps you renegotiate and negotiate. What y'all think about boundaries being good?
Boundaries are good. I mean, they should be established early. I think that people get into things and they try to put boundaries in way down the line, and that's what gets tricky. You got to kind of go into it in the conversation. You start talking about boundaries early, just so that people kind of know where you stand. Because this gives a person a chance to, I don't like that, or I'm cool with that. So you know early if this person is really for you.
So wait, before we dive, because we just went dive all the way in like head first. Should we define the word boundaries?
You said, can we define boundaries?
Yeah, like what? How do we define boundaries?
Don't step into my square.
What context?
I say it's limits, rules,
expectations.
Yes, that we set for ourselves within our relationships. I mean, that's a simple definition.
That is simple.
Yes. And there are, we won't get into the types or dysfunctions, but I'll just say in general, they could be healthy, porous, or rigid.
Right.
Definitely.
So,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Cam.
No, I was just saying. I think boundaries are especially good going into a new year. Shed some people and
Really?
some bad habits, or just shedding, just starting over anew, and realizing what you need and what you want out of life. Going into a new year. Not so much a New Year resolution, but just life, day to day stuff in general.
Right.
So I
That can be
mean, you
good for you.
could, I mean, maybe assess and adjust, track and adjust boundaries in the beginning of a year. Maybe you could do that. I can do that. Look, we're gonna use this as this is gonna be a starting point. This is gonna be a starting point, and we want to change some things or reevaluate maybe what we were doing to see if it worked. Because boundaries also can change. As you maybe get older, as you learn different things, boundaries can change. So don't think that boundaries are something that you are stuck doing. Like once I put this boundary in, you can't cross this line. Well, that's not true. But
people don't like for
communicate.
boundaries to change.
Yeah, well, listen, people don't like change at all, but as we should grow, right? And as we grow, maybe know or maybe something we thought was bad is okay now, or something we thought was good. So I think that we have to also understand that boundaries can or may change. They may change over time, and that's okay. But I think we just make sure we have to communicate that. The big point about boundaries is communicate to your partner what the boundaries are, and be poignant about it. Don't kind of be iffy, like, well, maybe it could be. No, that's not a boundary.
Non-negotiables.
Right? A boundary. Well, it's not a non-negotiable, but your boundary should be so you both know exactly what it is. You can't be like, well, I kind of don't like something. That's not putting a boundary in place. You like, well, I like doing this. Yeah, I don't like, or I do like doing this, whatever the case may be. But make sure whatever it is clear and concise. That's what I want. It's clear and concise, so we both understand what it is. And I think sometimes we might even have to even ask questions. Well, what does that mean? So we know we're talking about the same thing. Because a lot of times what happens is we're talking about the same subject, but we're coming at it from a different point of view. So it means something different to me than it meant to you. So with boundaries, I think we really have to talk them over, be clear and concise, so that we both know what they are, and and then go from there. But go ahead, y'all take it. I'll be here all day with boundaries.
I like how you said it, Big Mike.
That's right. Talk to him, Cam. Talk to him.
I think, Daryl, you raised the most important point of letting people know what they are, because a lot of times in relationships, people don't know that they crossed our boundaries until they cross them. Then you want to punish someone for a rule or a limit that they didn't know about.
That's
not fair.
I think that's important too, to understand if the boundary is crossed, what is or isn't going to happen. Right? I think
of course.
A boundary without, and I'm gonna use the word content, makes a weak boundary. Right? Because if I can just violate your boundary and there's really nothing done about it, then why wouldn't I do it again?
And you keep excusing the behavior.
Basically, if you're not really doing anything about it, you're saying that you're not even committed to your boundary.
Right.
And that becomes a problem. So now I'm like, it's okay to do this. You're not really stopping me, or you're not really contesting me when I crack this boundary. So you got to really say this. So I think even with boundaries, there's different levels. There might be an annoyance, kind of like what I post was is annoyance. One is a little bit more severe, and there's one like I can't take it anymore. You got to figure out what boundary it is, and if they violate it, we're getting there, Ruth. If you want to be on a panel, we're getting there. We got that already, okay? All right, please. You leave comments. You don't try to add the content. Comments, not content. All right.
Well, Bruce is saying, give me 50 feet.
Jump in. Listen, I'm going to get 100 because get away from the keyboard.
Well, that's your weak boundary goes from 50 feet to 5 feet, and you in my face. We got an issue.
Yeah. So whatever it is, you got to decide what it is and what the consequence for that, right? If it's a weaker boundary, but if it's something really serious, you got to say, look, I may have to walk away from this relationship because you're violating this boundary, right? So you really have to. Okay, go ahead.
With my bank.
Tell us more. So you bank?
I've been with this bank for a long time. like almost a decade, in terms of a business account, and they messed up my account. I only would give me half of my money back, and it's messing up my stuff. So I told them next week I'm withdrawing. Lost the customer.
Wow.
There you go. So what I do, you really have to say, this is a problem. I have to walk away from. You have to be man woman enough to walk away from
Messing my
something
money.
if it's violating your boundaries. Okay, you're not helping out. We already have it. Thank you. We're very versed in this. We're very versed. Thank you. Help us by just listening and commenting and tell
You
us.
know what?
Okay, so here we go.
Anybody
So
listening or catching us on the replay, just please understand that we have this love relationship that goes through between Ruth and our panelists. It's all love. It's all love.
Right. Go ahead. Oh yeah, boundaries.
So the one thing I'm gonna tell y'all, I was going past a military base, so it's a lot of what was just said that I didn't hear. So I hope I'm not repeating anything. But like, there's emotional boundaries. And, sometimes when they're crossed in a relationship, because we haven't healed from the first time that the boundaries was crossed, every time it gets crossed or violated in a future relationship, work or personal, we tend to have the same reaction that could be unhealthy and chaotic, and sometimes very unsafe.
How would you define emotional boundary, Mary?
So an emotional boundary could be defined as, we go on the Ebonics, you feel some type of way when somebody questions your facts or questions if they the baby daddy, or they question the authenticity of something that you're sharing. And if you have been invalidated around just your voice mattering or your contribution having some value to what it is that you do and share, then you're fine as long as people are in agreement with you. But the first time that they're not in agreement with you and they challenge you, your voice raises, you become territorial, and it's almost like you backing in a corner to come out fighting. And the only way that you know how to silence the person challenging you is that you're coming out fighting. Does that explain?
Yes. Very, very good.
What'd you say, Doc?
I said very, very good. Very, very good.
Where I looked up, it said emotional. No, something I looked up with it's emotional boundaries. It says everyone has different ways of dealing with emotions. If you ran about your problems to your partner and they immediately try to take it upon themselves to fix all of them, that could be a mistake. So you may have just wanted to hear them. You might have just wanted to hear instead of this person trying to fix it. So they're saying the boundary could be that person is overstepping, trying to help when need was an ear to listen.
Right. But the
so
thing is that if you don't communicate an area that is an unhealed emotional wound, then that person is set up from the gate. Like, they don't have any idea that their suggestion, their communication with you is possibly going to turn into a violation, and that something is going to happen in our relationship that may cause us to even end our relationship or have these conversations that we have often in the group of relationship flow, where communication shuts down or something else is impacted because that emotional wound has been violated.
Right. Or if one person is so needy that they're now draining you, right? You can't have no room for your emotions. They're always their emotions.
Right, and your emotions.
You have to know.
Right.
You can't even express your emotions, right? So there's no boundary there. If you can't even, get your emotional needs met because this person is always trying to drown you with whatever's going on in their life. And then when you, like, listen, I can't listen right now, they get upset. They become upset because you can't, you have to go to work at 8 o'clock and it's 7:59 and they want to tell you about the thing that happened to them.
Yeah, being availability for that, the emotional availability that crosses the boundary.
It definitely
But
does.
they want you to be available, but you have stuff to do. But when you need something, they're not even there. That's also
Maybe they're too wrapped up in themselves, but the problem is you haven't set a boundary, right? You guys haven't discussed. You have to say, look, I can't, the way I'm set up, when you do that, when you inundate me with your whatever's going on, it affects me as well, right? It takes me out. So I need you to tell me one thing at a time and give me 10 minutes. Or, limit it. You have to put something around it where you help the other person, but not lose yourself in that place. And if anyone is getting upset because you're putting boundaries to try to make sure that everyone is safe, there's a problem. There may be a bigger problem there.
Because transference of emotions is very real, I feel as though.
It is.
It can offset your day or put you off kilter. And now you're off kilter and they're like, whoo, that was great. I unleashed everything on that person. I feel like that's what a therapist is for. Go to therapy. Not that you can't provide emotional support to somebody as a friend, but therapy is important.
Mm-hmm.
I think the big problem with most people is they can't see a program like this on how limited they are. A lot of people don't know that what they're doing is wrong. A lot of people don't know that they're not being as emotionally in, or they're crossing boundaries, or that boundaries should be put in place. It's not something not something you're talking. I mean, you just do what you do and you try to get through everything. But boundaries are very important. Because actually, even thinking about boundaries sometimes it feels uncomfortable when you have to put up boundaries. We can only, I don't know. Sometimes boundaries feel weird, when people are putting boundaries in place, especially if it's opposite what you want. So it's definitely weird, I like PDA, but only in the house. What? Wait a sec. Only in the house? Somebody like everywhere. So could make someone feel uncomfortable. And what you don't want to hold my hand outside? There's something wrong with me in public?
Yeah.
And it could be this person just, I'm just not comfortable. Anything to do else, I just don't like it. And and it should be okay that I don't like it. I should have to be forced to hold your hand. That's a crossing of a boundary because you're making me feel bad about not wanting to hold you in public, and I just don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hold me. I feel like he's emotional hostage.
Don't you say you want to feel hostage?
Yeah, in those situations, I feel like people hold other people bound them. Like you feel like a hostage.
Right.
Emotional.
And that's where.
Hostage.
Yes, release it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's why like boundaries are healthy, but they can feel unhealthy, especially when another person is making you feel bad about the boundaries you're putting in place to keep you healthy, to keep you feel, to keep me to. I know I need this. Like I know I don't like whatever it is, and I would rather not. And another person, if they start making you feel bad about that, then there's a problem. I feel,
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
Ruth actually brought up all of them. The only one I don't see is material.
Right.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah, I have the same list. I have the same list, Ruth. Looking right at the camera. I'm looking right at you right now, Ruth. Neil.
Could
looking
you
right
explain
at
the
you.
material, Doc?
Huh?
Could you explain the material boundary?
Okay. Material boundaries are about things like money and possessions and what you are willing to share and with whom you're willing to share.
Or how much.
Or how much, yes. Or how much you're willing to share.
Yeah, I got it as financial. I got it as financial boundaries. And they're like, watch. I said I had a financial boundary where they talked about, finance. So if somebody wants to buy a whole bunch of shoes and a whole room full of shoes.
All right, I'm going to click off right now.
You about to black
Don't
out,
let him
Doc.
do you like that.
That's
Doc. Yeah, don't let him run you off.
That's your boundary, Doc. Black
That's
out.
my
somebody
boundary. You do not
somebody
tell
try to make me
how, when, and how much
Don't
money I
let
can
him
spend
shoot
on shoes.
somebody try to make me feel bad about my boundaries. See, there's some issues. We might need counseling. They made me feel bad about it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, you locking out.
Yes,
Doc,
we're
that's
not
how we
going
thought
there.
about when you mentioned material boundaries that you was gonna end up having a blackout moment.
See, look, we had a prime example right here. It was a boundary, and someone made it bad. That was not a healthy response to my boundary. And I didn't even finish it. I said shoes. I'm loud.
Triggered her.
We couldn't even.
That's clearly a trigger.
We had this conversation before. That's what I heard. So she didn't even want to hear it. So she heard shoes and she blacked out.
Blacked out. We always get to the same part of the conversation, and then the conversation is over.
Right. Then you say, I got boundaries that you can get 10 pair of shoes a month. But no.
That's a lot.
You know what I mean? I was going to listen.
That's not a lot.
Baba said, I must not know Doc's closet. So 10 pairs.
I've seen glimpses and pictures she showed me before. And I was like, oh, nice.
Right.
But to be honest, 10 shoes may not be a lot because, it depends on what type of shoes you buy.
I agree. Yes.
Depends.
You only got 2 pairs. You only got 2 feet. Like, I mean,
but you got.
But there's 365 days of the year.
And you ain't
right. Because I know, like, even though I'm not a stiletto person, I have shoes to walk in the house. I got shoes to go certain places in. Only those shoes are for. So I don't wear them every day.
No, listen, we're talking about Doc. We ain't like the little shoes you got. Doc got 900 pairs of shoes for 365 days. Don't make sense.
That Doc be Doc.
The math don't add up.
Thank you,
She wears 6 pairs of shoes a day. She'll have 100 more pairs of shoes that she ain't touched.
Right, but
sometimes you do need to switch up during the day.
Yes, you do.
Oh God, well, my mind on the reasons why you guys switch up.
Yes.
I shouldn't say that. But
so let's talk about, you have these shoes, and as long as it's not a problem, it shouldn't be a boundary put on it. But say there was a problem, say electric bill was late or something, bills were coming up. Oh, you laughing? So you said we'll be in the dark. I'm not flipping. As long as your shoes have a room, you good.
I'm good.
Or how about?
And it's so messed up because with the stupid pandemic, I wasn't even wearing my shoes. I had to put them on and wear them around the house.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. See, that's a problem. Cause I'm like, how about we sell a pair of shoes to pay this bill? Oh, you see her face? We're gonna sell about 5 pair.
That's hilarious.
Can't do it.
I knew he was going there.
We just want to sell 5 pair to give right, She said, See, listen, that's gonna be a problem. We gotta you gotta tell people that in the beginning, like it's a non-negotiable. Don't bring the shoes up.
And it's funny because people think, like, I had someone come over and borrow a pair of shoes and didn't tell me.
Oh, they stole it.
And I knew they were gone.
They stole them, George.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yes.
I'm missing a pair.
Yes.
The red pumps. Yeah.
The energy of the shoe guys was like, wait a minute, check that corner under that red box.
Right.
And then
did you get your shoes back?
That pair is missing.
I did. Yeah.
I probably
I do. I actually have a shoe room.
I know.
Right. Yeah. We set a whole room for shoes.
Yeah.
So people like, listen, if we move, I gotta have a room for my shoes. So whatever it is, we gotta have 1 extra room. So we need 3 rooms. We need 4. My shoes need a room.
Pretty much.
That's a boundary.
She said pretty much.
Yeah. Unless
okay, so
somebody.
I got a question though.
Go ahead.
So if the person, because there's no gender assigned, if the person who buys the most shoes out of respectability, if it's the money that they have that does not impact the house, is it a problem? Is it a boundary?
It shouldn't
Like
be.
if they're using their own funds that they have in their own personal account, not the house account, not the couple's account, but their own account.
I'm gonna tell you to mind your business.
Well, if you do that, you're gonna be
Because
divorced.
it's not from the
'Cause you're not
household
gonna-
account.
Cause my boundaries, you ain't gonna speak to me like that. That's a boundary, right?
Mind your business.
Again, I will. With my new wife, we will both be minding our business. Thank you.
That's my answer.
So it's not. It don't really mind my business. I'm like, no, it should be no problem because we all have things we like to do. You should be allowed to be a healthy individual, and that might be the individual type thing that you're doing. Like I said, as long as it's not affecting the house,
Right.
then okay. Or affecting you. Like if you're addicted to it and you getting up to stand in line every day 5 a.m. for some new shoes.
Yeah, I
don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I might look, baby. Listen, it's a blur. You don't need time for these shoes. You might need to talk to somebody. Right?
That's an addiction.
Yeah, I would never
right.
do that.
Yeah, but I think if
I wouldn't do that. I don't think.
Now she don't think. She out there. She like the what?
I'm thinking, you know what? I'm thinking if there was like something that was going to be like a one of a kind, or they only made 100 pairs, maybe something like that, where I know I would never see anyone else with them.
Right.
I might stand in line. I might, depending on how much they cost.
And I would stand with you for that because it's something special. It's not out of the blue. Like, all right, let's go get them. You know what I mean? I can see me going to do that with you. Like, we can go get these shoes. You feel me? As long as it ain't every time the new Jordans drop, you got to be in line. I'm like, nah, we ain't.
You know how people about their Jordans.
But that people do that with the iPhone.
Exactly. And Michael Jordan.
I think they used to. If Jordans, I know people still do. But I mean, that's the sneakerheads. Some people want to do that. Good luck. I get them when they $70 at Foot Locker. I can wait.
I mean, but some people may see it as an investment.
So I got another version question.
Okay.
So another version question is: you dating somebody, and the relationship ends, and you have purchased some expensive shoe game that either could be those long boots that come up to the knee with the stiletto, or just some expensive pair of shoes. When the relationship over, do you want the shoes back?
A gift is a gift. I know a gift is a gift. If you ever ask for a gift back, you really hurt. You're really hurt.
I don't want the shoes back because I think you may need them to think about me and why the relationship didn't work.
Right.
So that was that's delusion.
To a friend of mine.
That's delusion of grandeur.
To the apartment, he returned the key when he knew she was in travel, and he took the shoes or the boots or whatever.
Yeah, see, he's hurt. He was hurt.
Yeah, he is hurt.
He was hurt.
He's hurt and petty.
That shows how that shows that she broke up with the right person because he's hurt and petty. Yeah, first of all, and again, she trusted him enough. Well, I guess she didn't change the lock, so she knew he had a key, and he did snake slime ball stuff. That's ridiculous, right? Or the shoes really worth it? Is it worth it? Like, come on. Like, now you know you can't get her back at all. Now you can't beg back when you stole her shoes.
Right.
You really show who you are.
Your
Show the true colors.
Right. That's very. So no, I don't think a gift is a gift.
Right.
You shouldn't really. I don't think they have any gift back.
Yeah, and I don't care how much you pay for it.
Right.
Including engagement ring.
It was a gift. Well, depending on where you're at, I know New Jersey engagement rings due back. You have a certain amount of time that you can reclaim your engagement ring. I forget the exact amount of time, but legally you have a certain amount of time. So if she would have sold that engagement ring like 3 weeks after, 4 weeks after, 2 months after, she would have to recoup that cost. Whatever it costs. That's in New Jersey. I don't know every state, but I know New Jersey has a rule like that.
I don't know about PA. I was engaged once and I gave the ring back. It's like,
right. What you gonna do? What are you gonna do with it? It's an engagement ring. You can't wear it ever again.
He probably gave it to the next one.
Okay.
You know what?
It's the gift that keeps on giving. Why not?
Right.
It's gonna work. It's like one of these times.
Yeah, she wouldn't know.
Work. Not at all.
He ended up getting married, so I wondered if that's where the engagement ring went.
He walking around with a borrowed
There you
ring.
go.
That's hilarious.
Hey, they say something borrowed, something blue. Here you go, your ring. I'm just trying to keep the old thing going. You know what I mean? No, I had to have something borrowed.
That sounds like some boundaries being crossed. Like you said that you purchased this ring for this particular person, that didn't work out. You love that next person the same way that you love the first person?
No, love is different.
Love is different, but
this ring symbolizes my love. This ring symbolizes my love still.
Just change the setting.
The ring isn't glued to a person.
Right.
It was emotionally it was when you purchased it.
Yeah, so it's your penis you was emotionally involved. So you not get that away again? Pretty sure I'm gonna get that away again. You got the same penis she had, so you had the same ring. It sounds like it makes sense to me. Sounds like it makes perfect sense.
I'm done.
If you think about it like that, it does make sense, maybe.
Does it make sense? I mean, let's go. Logically, it sounds right to me.
Oh God! But I wonder if the other woman would take it if they know where it came from.
Some women
they won't because women are petty.
Upgrade later.
Nope, they petty ain't taking it. They be like, it was for who? I want that. Ain't no woman taking a ring if they knew. Yeah, most people going to.
Ruth, right? Like, why all roads gotta go to penis with Daryl? Like, dipping into a wet hole.
I'm the only one that tells the truth on this panel. It all with the penis. You know it does. You guys don't.
So Daryl saying the penis has emotional connections and just established a new one.
His emotional.
Thank you. Come on, Cam. It's right, Cam. You establish. Listen, what connected you to that ring was penis. Was connecting him to the last person.
Yeah.
Penis is
penis makes the world go round.
It makes a
shit. Penis had your ass fucking broke.
It sure will, but it still makes the world go round.
Yeah, you be broke but happy at the same time.
Yeah,
I'm good.
No,
I ain't got nothing but this me and penis. I'm good.
What else with boundaries? I do have a video that I'm gonna share in the group though.
Okay.
It talks about the emotional wounds, but it does peel it back like a little bit more deeper than what we probably would do here on a Friday sip and chat. And the reason I say that it's a little bit deeper because it is a person who has a whole bunch of credentials that is talking about her relationship breaking up, but she's talking about the male and female emotional wound from previous life and lived experiences that when they get violated, but then she takes it to the next level of how white supremacy plays a part for our Black men. So that's the part that I'm like, okay, that's
way deeper. Yeah.
That's way deeper than a Friday sip and chat situation. But I think that the information that's entailed is helpful. So I'm going to share it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
So
Sounds
if you're
like
not
a good listen.
your invite request now so that you can have access to it.
Okay.
No problem.
So what about intellectual boundaries?
Oh, child.
Right. So I mean, they're really intellectual boundaries. I think are very. You once you know that person, I run into this a lot. Once you run into that, certain things, if it's going to bother you guys, like, look, we can't talk about politics. We just can't. Every time we talk about it, we get in arguments. We can't do it. Or religion, we can't do it. Whatever it is, you definitely have to voice those, because sometimes, it just drains you. And if it's draining you to have these conversations that you guys always button heads, you might be like, look, we can't have this conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
That's like microaggressions at work.
It's going to be an issue. because we see it's going to be an issue, so let's not do it. Let's put a boundary up. We're not going to talk about it. Or, you might say, look, we had a 2-minute timer. We're not going to pass the 2 minutes. Because you might want to discuss it, but before it gets hot and heavy, you say your piece, I say my piece, and we're done. So I think those are very tips with if you have one person who maybe is a talker, maybe the other person not much of a talker, or maybe the other person can't defend their position as much as the other person.
That's the issue. Yes,
the other person will overshadow them. Yes. It becomes a problem. So you have to say, you know what? Like I said, either we're gonna write it down. Write down what you want. I'll write down what you want. Then we can switch. You see my whole thought. I can see your whole thought. But I think those are very important boundaries to have because it's about how you discuss things, right? How you discuss things and trying to find a way not to each other the wrong way. Well, now you're going to bed mad because y'all was talking about Trump. You know what I mean? Y'all talking about Trump. Now you on the couch.
I call it
yes, and a lot of times in the effort to win those kinds of arguments, people go to the extreme. And now they're making you feel like your opinion, your point, your thoughts don't even matter.
Yep.
Right.
Something's wrong with the way you think.
Emotional wound.
Right.
Yes, crossing that intellectual boundary can definitely lead to crossing an emotional boundary.
Right.
Yes,
right.
For sure.
Why is gas $4.72?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, gas is high right now.
Because you got to pay. It's high every time, every year around this time is that high. Normal, like clockwork.
Jeez.
It is, but I won't be
all we can do is pay it. All we can do is pay it, unless we.
I'm not debating it. I just have never seen the price tag at this location.
Right.
Sorry.
So it's
sometimes it can have you second guessing yourself. Like, did I miss something? Am I not getting it? I understand.
And then, like, why you not getting it? Because then they'll throw in all your credentials or all your facts, conversations. Why can't you get it? Maybe we just not compatible to talk. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, and sometimes, like I said, you can have boundaries on how you discuss things.
I agree with that.
Like one for me was because I am strong-willed, right? And I'll say things like, yes, I don't know. Some people say that.
You say things and people take you a certain way.
Weird. Yeah. Not really taking it a certain way. I'll say something like, "Yeah, you're wrong," right? And no, you're not right. So when I say that, I'm really saying, I differ with your opinion. So, but then how it comes off is like you're wrong. I'm wrong. I shut people down. So I had to realize that and say, you know what? Okay, cool. I'm not gonna say that. I'll make sure I say what I feel. I think. This is what I think.
Right.
This is how I feel about it. Because people can begin
to feel invalidated at that point.
Yeah.
Right. And it wasn't until someone pointed out to you that you don't know it. You need a strong person sometimes. And that's why if the person is not as strong, it becomes a bulldozing. And that's how you just knock that person down and it doesn't get lit up, they just go further in their shell. But until finally you get a person like, listen, I'm not wrong. I'm wrong. I'm like, wait, I'm saying that? Oh, I mean, it's how I feel. Like, I hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying. I agree. And then I put it in place where I only have, when I don't agree. Because I don't agree, I keep going with I don't agree, and we be here all night. So you put in, sometimes it stops it. You can talk about the point where no one's getting offended. Right? Yeah. So boundaries are very important.
Yeah, so that you can have safe conversations.
What is a safe convo, Doc?
But you respect each other, right? And
yes.
What each other is saying.
Yes.
Not being combative.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, there we go. Yes. Not invalidating people's thoughts, feelings.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I know.
Oh boy, hilarious.
You guys are.
You are
hilarious.
too, for sure.
And just not
I'm
making
with you
people feel
guys.
dumb.
You are with
You know
us.
what
We not
when
guys.
people when you do try to set that boundary up, it's really difficult when people don't want to hear. They don't want to hear what you're saying. When you say, "Look, the way you said that right now, I didn't like the way you said it. Like it just wasn't. I didn't like it. Oh, what you mean? You be girl in it. You been soft like that right there. You start is invalidating your boundary that is trying to get in place, right? So now you're like. You don't even put your boundary up at that point. They don't allow you to. That becomes a problem too when people don't want to receive your boundary.
Yes.
Like, I don't do that. I don't do that. I didn't do that. Or they try to make an excuse what they did. Like, well, someone told me something like, as long as they did what I asked, how they responded didn't really matter. So, like, if I was like, hey, look, could you make me a salad? Something like that. And they're like, okay. And they made it. They're like, well, I made it, didn't I? I was just beatboxing. I don't like all the others that made it. I don't want it now. Cause I don't want it. Yeah. Like, whoa, all that to make a salad. You turned the Biz Marquee off. Like, what is that?
Not the Bismarck.
So just because you did something don't mean it's okay to respond. They were like, I expressed myself in doing it, but as long as I did it, it's okay. No, you not like that. That's not okay.
They could have just
that doesn't make
said,
me
I
feel.
don't feel like making you a salad.
That would have been better.
Right.
Then how
That
can
would
you
have been better. Right. That would have been better. I would feel bad because I can get up and make this salad, but when you get up under protest, like you walking around house something that is very unappetizing, and I don't want the salad, or you ever make anything ever again. I'm done. I'll never ask you for nothing else. I'm petty too. I'm petty. I'm not petting this out. Both will be petty.
You petty.
Oh yeah, I can be petty. Once we start the petty parade, I'm in the front.
He said the petty.
Especially with your pink on.
You understand? only real men can wear pink.
I like the pink.
Say,
It goes
That's
well
right.
with your big mic.
Alpha color, you feel me? Alpha.
Know what?
I think I see something for fix all that bacon on salad. Exactly. Now I would. You know what? We can fix all that because she would be fixing my salad. Thank you.
She what?
She'd be fixing my salad. My side on. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you. Thank you. But she don't. What you won't do, she
The next
will.
one will.
Oh, listen. With bells on. You want a salad? You want croutons, baby? Thank you, girl.
It's funny, but it's true.
It is. Like I got Corella DeVille.
She may not even know that she's beside going.
That's true too.
I think, I guess some people want to lie to themselves. You should know. I only come see you at 1 o'clock.
Well, does it matter? Some people don't care.
Right.
They'll take whatever
It's like
it is you choose to share.
Mm-hmm.
People are really willing to share nowadays.
So, but I think sometimes side joints get a bad rap because they just want that limited time. They want to do their thing. Like they cool with you coming over when you come over. They want them. They don't want. They don't want to be tired.
Clean up woman.
Well, not even clean up. You actually doing her. You feel me? You coming over, dusting it off and leaving, and she good. She ain't got none of the problems. She ain't got none of the headaches. She's just a good you, and you leave, and she can go do whatever she want to do by her thing.
That's
working for women
also a
today.
boundary that needs to be set.
Only boundary with your side joint is don't come to my house or call my wife. You understand? I know, Ruth. Jingle side joint had it right. And then when you find out you ready to kill her and her whole family, I don't know why people like, I don't care what he do. You do. All women do. No woman wants. It's your ego. Just don't want nobody taking yours. So stop it. If she jingle open rap that person after on Christmas, you upset. The women be upset. I know I'll be upset. But I mean, there's time. It's so many different boundaries you have, like time boundaries. So many boundaries that can be put in place. But I really feel that that's a conversation that needs to be had earlier than later, or as things come up, because sometimes things will come up, and when it comes up, you address. Like I was talking about this the other day with someone, where if your guy is great, it's a great guy or it's a great girl, and something happens, they get upset, like shut the fuck up. Whoa, like you would automatically right then, like yo, that might be something that you don't even want to go for it at that point. Like even though you didn't discuss it, that may be something like yo, that's a boundary I had before you, and I know that leads, right, and I'm not even gonna cross that, right? That could be it's showing something, and I'm like, if you allow that to continue, you already kind of know where you're going, right? If that's coming out now, if that's coming out at any time like that, that might be somewhere you might be like, this is something I can't even deal with. You know, I can't even talk to you about it. I'm not really, because show me who you are unprovoked. You know, so sometimes those boundaries, when they come, you might just have to walk away for you. You know, that might be the best thing, because I think we need to go into things with boundaries as well. We need to go into with our own boundaries as well. We need to know what we do, what we won't do, what we expect, kind of, sort of, so that when we go into it, when we see certain things that are not us, that we'll get to the habit of saying, it might change, or I may get used to it. And that's
what usually happens. That's what happens.
And that's why somebody should fail, because down the road after that honeymoon wears off, now this is getting on my nerves.
They see the red flags, but still want to stay.
Right. That red flag that I kind of felt was at half mast. It's so high, it's all the way up, and now I got to deal with it. So we really need to establish boundaries for ourselves before we get into something. Say certain things like, look, I can't X, Y, and Z. Whatever it may be.
Yes, and knowing what they are for you, as well as what those deal breakers are, because a lot of times that's where the compromising starts coming in, where you see a deal breaker and then you're like, it's the beginning, things will change.
Right.
No, they get worse. I
see potential.
Right.
What?
So that's why it has to be, I'm gonna use the word consequence again. What is the consequence if I meet someone, they do this? Have it in place in the beginning. You can't get into that stuff where you can't get into your mind like, well, it's not that bad. No, I know I said it was that bad. I said if someone does this, I have to be able to walk away. You know, so make a plan before you. So that you want that self time working on yourself, because please take time working on yourself. Also make some healthy boundaries for yourself. You know, make some healthy boundaries for yourself to say, look, I won't accept whatever it is you just can accept. So that when you get something, you don't compromise that thing. You know, because that usually leads to.
I know one boundary that's been more prominent over the last 2 years is physical.
Correct.
Because people are reevaluating their physical boundaries because of the pandemic.
Right.
Oh, right.
And who can enter that space? How far you want people from you? Who can?
How people can be in your house?
Yes.
Right.
And some people get an invite, others don't.
You know, it's funny you said that. I didn't even think about that. I have those boundaries in place now. Like, I'm not going to go to certain places because I know it's going to be too crowded. You know, like somebody going. You know, I don't. Yeah, Mary, she about to pop. When you have,
hey, she home.
Hey, Mary. I'm home.
That was, you excited her about her being home?
You know what? Yes, she got home safely.
That was that.
Yes, how to take
military vaccines and all types of shenanigans.
Okay. But yeah, it's crazy. You have, I know we do. Even like, as far as me training, like, a lot of my stuff is online now. I have boundaries. I don't want to be around people because people, you ain't gonna exercise in death. You gonna breathe medical to bed. We're not doing that. So yes, we do. I didn't even think about that. In our everyday lives, we're exercising these physical boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely,
We had to really reevaluate. I mean, I was always one to not like people like up on me, like when I'm in lines and stuff like that, because you're gonna get there at the same pace. You don't have to be standing on my back.
Amen.
And I know it irritates people
on your back that they're standing on.
Or those lovely stilettos.
And I know it irritates people because
they're not standing on my mistake. I'll just let you know it wasn't a mistake. Standing in line like they stand in line like this microphone. That's what they do. They're like.
This microphone gets so much airtime.
Right. But anyway,
right, as
I was saying, I might have 4, and this is before the pandemic, 4 feet in front of me. And hoping the person behind me kind of gets the picture,
a clue,
and don't walk up on my back. But people don't pay attention. It doesn't register. Even at the airport earlier this year, when you're supposed to have 6 feet, people are still up on each other's backs. Like, you're going to get to the counter when it's your turn, no matter what. You don't have to be right. You don't have to be on the person in front of you. You don't have to be on their back.
Boundaries.
Like my physical boundaries, like, give me 5 feet. Used to be 5 feet, now 6. Like, give me 5 feet.
Yeah, because I've had that physical boundary before the pandemic where I was at work. I'm like, if you wear nylon, I can't be in the same group with you because I'm allergic. The nylon can't be touching my hand or my arms. I break out. So I'm sorry, if they put us in a team together.
Why is your hand touching somebody's nylon? What is going on over there?
No, okay, when you're doing team building activities.
What kind of groups is y'all running?
So you gotta go in.
Listen, no, don't talk about this nylon. She was joking.
I'm not joking. I would have to request.
I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah, but anyway, I would have to request to be in another group because I was just like, no, I can't be next. That's a physical boundary, and you got to respect that. I'm allergic to your clothes.
It's like you were crossing the boundary. The nylons can't move.
Well, people can. People wear nylon. So it sounds silly, but it's real.
Miss Kim, what are you doing?
But people
Why
get
is your
offended.
hand on my nylon? I'll be
like when
touching my nylon.
When people wear glitter, nylon, these cologne or whatever they got on, I can't be next to you.
So that's a big one. People wearing smells and different perfumes and fragrances and
right.
And it's if I'm crying because it's so loud, there's a problem. You understand? There's a problem. It's
I remember in a shared workspace saying that people should not bring fish.
Oh wow! You have to tell people that.
Yes, because they will go and microwave it, and then the entire shared workspace smells like fish.
The microwave for two.
And the microwave forever, and then they don't want to clean out the microwave, and people have allergic reactions to different scents. And I'm always looking at like I got some kind of special head.
Yeah, I don't understand why people violate a boundary like that. Like you know this is going to smell. You smell it. You smell it after you're done eating. But the problem is after you're eating, you still smell it. It's still here. We ate lunch time and this smell is still here. You know this happened. So why would you do this? People don't respect boundaries.
Or it's a peanut-free zone at work, but you popping pistachios, and cashews, and nuts, and you in my face talk. Airborne allergies.
So the peanuts, it is airborne.
It can be for some people.
For some people, so
know that.
But
that's why you can't be on planes anymore because
so especially a lot of workspaces.
Okay.
But a lot of workspaces are no latex, no peanuts, and no helium, like certain things. The workplace, period. And if you work there and you knowingly doing it, you're still crossing a boundary because it affects other people.
I don't know why people even wear perfume to work. You're going to work. Why do you need perfume? Did you take a shower?
No, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Because sometimes it makes you feel like sometimes that's your identity.
Feel better.
Yeah, some people
you
that's
need
just
a
them.
better
Like, they smell good all the
identity.
Well, some people are just
you need a
rolling
better
out the bed.
identity.
You
Some
need
people
to
may just be
schedule
rolling up
with
the
Doc or
bed.
Mary to understand that fragrance is not going to make you sound better.
Exactly.
Right.
Or perform better.
That's not true either. It can. That
In what
smell
way?
could be very inviting. It can open up it smells
Yeah,
great.
for you to be in a closet humping people with your penis.
Well, I mean, hey, whatever you use your fragrance for, as long as it gets to your desired goal, okay? If it gets you to the closet, let's go.
Make sure you have a breeze in the background.
Right.
Right, because the fragrance you coming out the closet with is going to smell totally different.
Okay.
Hey, Ruth.
Oh, man.
Boundaries.
And I don't know if I don't think I have any fragrance allergies, but I know my mom is very sensitive to perfume, and she's an RN, and we talk about getting sick at work. Mm-hmm. Why are you walking around with perfume in the hospital?
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
The closet.
Some people like smelling good.
But yeah, I feel like I've crossed.
You could take a shower and smell good.
Yeah, right. Deodorant, soap.
Yeah. Deodorant, soap.
And some people don't even use that.
Exactly. We know those people. But some people just they think they're trying to cover it up.
Well, there's nothing worse than the smell of funk and perfume.
Oh my gosh.
Cologne.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Or butt.
It's even worse.
Yes.
Especially,
I get it.
I mean, walking by or even in them shared workspaces, again, if you got to use an office after somebody whose hygiene is different, that's a boundary.
So let's bring it back a little bit. How about sexual boundaries?
Which one?
I think sexual.
Oh yeah.
Sexual healing.
You mean like don't touch my groceries?
Right. Like these boundaries need to be put in place early. So
Very
you know
early.
what is
or not. Wait a minute. Wait. Let me just interject here. Early, but if it's a one night stand or something like that, or it happens very quickly, you might not. You don't have many boundaries.
You don't have many boundaries if it's a one night stand.
You know what? That's not true.
That's not true.
Oh, that's true. You don't have many boundaries.
Well, what kind of boundaries do you have if it's a one night stand?
Thank you. Come on, Camp. Come on. Let's tell me.
Seriously, what kind of boundaries do you have if it's a one night stand? You sticking and moving or whatever you're doing, gyrating. Right? I don't know. Sweating.
That means you open to whatever. Yeah, you open to whatever.
That's what I think. I don't know.
That's
Where's the boundary?
I wouldn't say. Yeah, I don't think that's true. But
where's the boundary?
So what? Tell me me and Camp want to know what the boundaries are.
Seriously.
Inquire minds. What boundaries you have if you out here taking people down on the first night?
Okay. So.
Yeah, go ahead, Doc.
I'm waiting too. I'm waiting too, Darryl. I
would say that it doesn't. Your sexual boundaries aren't taken away just because you had sex with somebody on the first night. So if you might have different boundaries for someone you take down on the first night than someone you've been in a long-term relationship. Like,
right.
If you take somebody down the first night, you might not kiss. You're like I don't kiss. I'm not going to kiss you because I don't know you like that, which sounds really stupid because you're having sex. But some people think, yes, kissing is the ultimate connection. So they may not do that with someone they're just taking down on the first night. They may not have oral sex with someone they're taking. Right. Yeah, you might not want to do that either. If you're taking somebody down on the first night.
You may not think you're going to do it, but you end up doing it because it happens so fast. And that's what's going to happen. Before you know it, it's
I just guess when I think of a one night stand, if you really taking somebody down, you're gonna take them down all the way, or
that's what I'm saying. I think with a one night stand, you get caught up in it sometimes, and you'll do things.
Okay, I can see that. You get looser.
Do you walk into a one night stand thinking, oh, this is gonna be a one night hit, and that's it.
I don't know.
Yes. You know,
I think that makes a difference. I think that makes a difference in how you behave.
Yeah.
Whether or not you think it's going to be a one night stand, or if you think this could have some potential after this. You're going to behave.
One night stands are never potential. Well, I shouldn't say never. They could be potential, but I don't know.
When you left the club with that gentleman and you knew what it was. You knew it was going to happen.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you know that this is what you're going to do, but the difference is I'm gonna let him hit, and I don't want nothing else. Or we had a nice talk grinding session on the floor. I'm gonna let him hit it, but maybe we could talk later on. I think there's a difference in thought.
So, hey, Cam, he didn't grind her into a relationship.
That's not a one night stand. You gonna grind me into a relationship? I gotta get to know you. That's not a one night stand.
He to the point where I want more. I want more than this one night penis.
Oh, what? You asking for Waffle House? No.
I'm not going to the stale Waffle House.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying. Then these people ask for chicken and waffles, whatever it is.
Right. He wasn't trying to be like, yo, I want to keep her forever. He was grinding because I'm trying to bust tight.
Right.
I'm trying to show her what I'm working with. That's all advertisement for the room.
Right.
Please,
well, it may not be a room.
Please,
it may be outside or a car, whatever it is.
Yeah, wherever it is. That's his advertisement for something.
Okay, Camp.
I'm just saying. What? At that point, boundaries are out the door. I don't feel like there's two boundaries in a one night stand. I don't know.
I think boundaries is an arbitrary word.
It can be.
Is it arbitrary? Tell me why you feel that way.
Because even when we dived in the conversation and I said, okay, wait, let's fall back and define boundaries. We came up with different perspectives and different mindsets of how people approach and enter conversations about boundaries.
Well, I have a question.
But the boundary still is the boundary. How you may approach it may be different, but that doesn't make the boundaries still are boundaries. Right, and that's what we need to talk. That's what we need to talk about to make sure we're on this. We talked about it earlier to make sure we're on the same page of what that boundary means. Because I may put a boundary in place that you think I mean a certain way, and it may look different to you than I expressed it. So sometimes we have to really get down to the meat and potatoes of what exactly that boundary looks like. So we are on the same page, right? So it can be.
We was good on the one night stand. We was good.
So
all hour and 37 minutes until we said a one night stand had a boundary.
Well, could the boundary per se?
I don't think it has no boundaries.
Be how you gonna let the person hit?
Say that again, kid.
Could the boundary be how you gonna let the person hit on a one night stand?
That's what I was trying to say.
And what I'm saying is that that's going out the window, because when you in that heat of the moment, when he do something, he pop in your mouth.
I don't even know how that happened.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Because sometimes you call up in a moment, and this person you say no, or I don't want to go there, or pineapples. So sometimes that doesn't allow you to stop.
But you already knew what it was before he got there. So you done already decided at that point, right? You know what it was.
That's what I said. When you in that room, then it's Cirque du Soleil, because you don't know what's going on.
He had you in that corner.
But you might not even make it to the room, because I know people come into my space and say, we made it to the parking lot.
Right.
Well, absolutely. Wherever it goes. But
wherever it goes down.
Wherever it goes, yeah. But I'm saying sometimes that moment doesn't allow you to say
Stop.
no, or it happens so fast you just go along with stuff because it's moving. I don't know this person well, and you just, man, I can't believe every hole got violated. That was crazy.
Sometimes it go high.
I didn't know I liked that. I didn't know I liked it.
Yeah, exactly. Now you don't want it to be a one night stand. That's why it becomes arbitrary.
Well, yeah, but that's because someone put it on you. But that all, to me, that's situational. That all happened because it was situational. It may not happen again in the controlled environment. That was the build up from leaving the place, the club,
off the country like you did with the crutches and everything.
Right. That was the situational, and why it's so good, because everything that just the whole night together, how it happened made it great. So when you meet again, it may not have that same feel.
No, we're not gonna meet again. It's
like
not
now,
a
it's like I had.
Don't meet again.
Well, yeah, it wasn't a one night stand at that point.
Yeah.
Well, I'm meeting again. I don't do one night stands. I think if it don't happen twice, then it didn't count.
Oh wow.
That's my book.
I don't do one night stands because I've never
count.
had one, and I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, because you was engaged at 12, married at 14. That's why you didn't have one night stands.
No, because you know what? I feel like one night stands annoy me, because why am I seeking you out? Like, if I want a relationship, I'll be in one. If I don't, I'll be by myself. I don't know. It like you said, situational.
So what's the difference from a boundary perspective of a one night stand and a jump off?
Well, jump off, right? We got to define jump off.
They got to be position.
A jump off, but jump off, you know, you can go not jump off anytime you want.
Right.
You feel me?
But it got boundaries to it.
You can't go there with another dude there. You can't go there with someone else there. That boundary. Other than that, she a jump. Like if she a jump, that means when you call, she jump.
Yeah.
She jump off. She jump off yours on somebody else.
That's what I'm used to jump being.
Hop on, hop off.
Yeah.
There it is. That's
just like the skeptic bus. You hopping on, you hopping off.
Right, and you can do it at leisure.
It serves the purpose.
Everybody in the hood, everybody in the area. You anytime you. Hey, I'm leaving the club. I'm gonna be on the way. Okay.
And then when I think about it,
that remind me of the song Uchi Wally.
Oh, Uchi Wally.
Hey, it's the Project Nympho.
Oh yeah, that's my jam. Another jam. But I feel like I've been always taught, like, I don't know, just thinking about a jump off. A jump off is available.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So the boundary is
just like to make that salad without no attitude.
Right. So the jump off, when I say come, you come. Because you supposed to be available. That's the expectation. You're the jump off.
Well,
make it happen.
Not that no, she may not be available. You know, jump is first come, first serve. So you know if you don't get her first, she jumps somewhere else. So you don't think she's available. She's not side joint. Your side joint should be available. A jump is when you catch her, because she's probably jumping already. But if she was,
all right, I like the way he's distinguished these.
But if she was somebody else,
you got to distinguish them.
They are but if she was somebody else, and she may be with you next.
But she's not available sometimes. That's the point. She's not available when I need her.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm in line. I don't like when you go get the meat at the shop, right? You grab the ticket. I don't know where I'm in line at getting the meat to her. You know what I mean? You don't know. You might be now for 7 and she at 95. So we gotta go all your crap. So you know what I mean? So you might have missed out. Yeah, the meat here. Boom. My meat. Right. So but your side joint should be available. She's your side joint. She should be there when you need her. Call, and I'll be there.
That sounds like a relationship.
Can you call me? Well, besides joints, this is the problem. The side joints are. It is. It's a relationship. A minute relationship. It's a fun relationship. It should be a side joint. Should be your fun relationship. Should have no argument. Like I see people arguing with their side joints. I'm like, what are you doing? You might as well go home and do that.
That's not a real side joint, right?
It should be. It's fun. You should be able to do whatever with and go home. That should be your elite. That helps your girlfriend out. So when she acting crazy, be like, go ahead, girl. You can go take a nap. And we'll massage you on. I'll be back.
Daryl, you're funny.
I'm gonna be back later. Hey, no, side joints help the world go around. Come on, stop it. Give them applause. Hey, everybody, side joints. They helping out a lot of y'all men right now. Come on.
But you know what? A lot of side joints help main relationships stay together.
Right.
They do.
That's
in a lot of ways.
They do. Because when so side joints are almost mini. Because you go and dump a lot of stuff on them, like, man, my girl be getting on my dang nerves, man. They're like, man, it's crazy. They can't dump anything on you. They shouldn't have no. You the only person with them, so they can't tell you about no other dude. So they just got to hear all this, and then you go home to your wife. Side joints, give them a round of applause. Side joints, come on. No, okay.
I mean, you can give them an applause. You go right ahead.
You just saying side joints have a place in life. That's what you're saying.
side joint day. Y'all should get cards, and it should be a dedicated where we can just go spend time with y'all and not get in trouble.
I think people should be offended if they get a happy side joint card. And happy side joint flowers.
You signed up for that. That again, I learned a lot of girls, that's what they want at that time. They don't want no real connection either. Women, girls, whatever you want to call them. Some women don't want to connect right now. Look, I'm chasing this bag. I'm trying to start this business. When I see you, you know what I mean? I know you can't come over all the time.
Just come
when
over,
I
do
need
what
something,
you do,
you're there.
and I'm good.
Bounce. Right. That's
an emotional.
That's how some people think.
That's an emotional.
That's emotional what?
An emotional
woman. You say it's emotional. That's what you say. That's what you say. It can be somebody, listen, I don't have time for a real relationship right now.
So then get you some batteries and get you a good, trusted friend.
Batteries don't always work.
And that's what I say. You want to listen to those batteries. I was having this conversation today. It's not that you want that the batteries can't give you straight. It can't do all this.
Right, but the thing about the stimulation is that really, if you about the bag, you're not even having them type of cravings, because now your grind is to your business development. You really not.
Stop it. Stop it. The nap, like you don't think about eating. Your stomach don't hurt.
Sometimes I don't.
Yeah, sometimes, but then sometimes it do, and sometimes I think we pulsating out there, and it needs to be felt. It needs to be fed, and that's when when you come over, and that's come over. Hey, I'm here to take care. You say you have some pipes that need to be taken care of. I'm here.
Are you the maintenance man now?
I'm saying,
pretty much.
Oh, that's a book. Remember the book?
I know.
So I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing a lot of people right now, are invested in these relationships where they don't have to be fully invested in a relationship, because you get the fun, you get someone to talk to, you get someone maybe to go to movies with and do the fun things with. You don't have to be alone on these things, but you're not really invested in anybody. Listen, side joints make the world go round. I'm telling you, we should have a side joint day where you can spend a side joint and not get in trouble. Like your girl, like, oh, side joints day. Go ahead.
I don't know about that, but
right.
You go ahead. Go spend the day with the side.
Go ahead.
It's cool. It's cool.
Ain't no side.
I get you 364. What's one day?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no side.
Go ahead. Go ahead. But I mean, in that case, your girl may go be with her side joints. I mean, listen, she may have one too.
Well, yeah, the world is different. Yeah, right. She may have a side joint, so that's true.
World ain't different. Y'all been had y'all side things. You had your penis on the side. We always talk about men. It's so one-sided. Women are no different.
Yeah, women have side joints.
We know. We just heard one with we just heard about one for 20 years for doing it to kids.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they were.
This is what happens. If I seen a meme on Facebook of guys at work, and they're like, you hung a dog kissing them, like, hey fella, this is your girl at work. Would do kissing on her.
Oh, with their work husbands.
It was crazy, and it's so true. That's how dudes be. You feel me? So women are out there. Women are indifferent in the conversation. Did somebody come to your house, Mary?
I heard the door, but they ain't coming in my house. I'm like, okay, well, where is the door? But my just went up like, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah, I heard the door and seen you look. Yeah.
So one of the things we didn't mention about sexual boundaries, we kind of implied it here and there, but when you're pressured to do things you don't want to do, and that's kind of like, I don't know if you guys saw the email I sent you about a topic.
I didn't get a chance to read it. Yeah.
Unwanted consensual sex. It seems like an oxymoron, right?
Right, but I get what you're saying. You're pressured to do certain acts. Yeah.
So where is the when you're trying to introduce something new, right? And you're trying to get where is the I'm not, once you force somebody to do something, it's a problem. But where is the you're trying to, hey baby, let's try this one time. Put the head in. Hey, let me
And you talking about encourage somebody to do something else?
Let me just relax your muscles. It's gonna hurt a little bit. Like, where is is it like a certain many times you can ask, or
where's the line?
They may not want it. Yeah, they may not want to, but you got to keep asking. You might never ask.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, Daryl. That's starting to sound like pressure.
Right, coercion.
So that's my question, because
I think Daryl's personality is pressure.
Listen, the question
yes, that's all.
Are you supposed to ask one time and that be it? Like, I remember there's a question at work, like, where the dude was like, well, how many times do I ask a girl out, right? Because sometimes the first time the girl may say no just because they don't want to, and that second time they may say yes, or whatever the case may be. How many times, like, is like, no, okay, that should be it. Should I not come back? Should I not try again? So the same thing in this conversation. How many times can you ask someone to do something, or is it you ask them once and they say no and that's it?
I think you ask once and you leave the door open for them. So when and if you're willing, let me know.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. Because I know
Daryl don't want to give those choices.
He don't. He like right now.
Nah, listen.
It's now o'clock.
No. I'm going back to your conversation. I'm going back to your conversation from earlier. We're gonna bring it back up. So you're like, hey, could you go down there and lick this? He'd be like, no. Like, okay, well, if you want to when you feel comfortable, we can revisit it. That's how it works.
How do we always get to this conversation?
Okay, because I gotta revisit it, because I was like, oh, they all do it. We need it. Okay, you need it, and he like, well, I ain't really. And you like, okay, whenever you want to do it, you ain't
really into it.
Look at Doc. Doc can't stop laughing.
I mean, if you ain't into it,
Doc said she's breaking up.
I had to hit the Megan on him.
Oh, shoot. That was my other news flash.
See? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So that's what I mean. I can't see you just asking, like, well, if you want to do it, let me know. You're going to be like, you sure? Sure.
I don't know. I agree with Mary when she said it would be just shut down. Certain things would just be shut down. It just be like, okay.
But yeah, we don't have nothing else to talk about. If that's not what you into and I'm into it, then it's nothing else to talk about. That's a boundary.
Our goals don't align.
Our goals definitely don't align. If we having a conversation
if we don't do things,
if we having a conversation about it, and we supposed to be introducing what our boundaries, non-negotiables are and are not, and you tell me in that conversation, yeah, it's nothing else for us to talk about. Because I'm not gonna convince you to do something that you say is a non-negotiable.
There we go. People don't grow. You don't grow.
People do grow.
You don't open.
So somebody ain't into something, they're not gonna do it.
You don't. The people down the road may be into it, or they into it with somebody else. You know what I mean? They end up doing that thing. So I'm just saying, I don't know if you just say, if we're gonna get into the habit of just asking somebody to do something once and they say no, but like, okay, not gonna bring it up again.
Well, see, it's certain things.
Yeah, certain things.
It's not certain things you have to have a skill to do well. And if you that's not something that you do or that you into, that means
you ain't let me use my skill, Mary.
That means I might also have to teach and train you, and that's just too much work. Because I don't need you playing like you a little cat drinking some milk. No.
They purr.
I need you to know your way around navigating them parts. So that's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
I'm dead. That ain't it?
No, we're not doing
that.
Unless you will.
So Mary, if they say they don't do it, you know they can't do it.
Exactly.
So you're saying I'm gonna be punished. That's all I got. That's it. I'm gonna be punished.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
You continue that part of the conversation now. Yeah, because I'm not.
You better not you better not show this because if anybody sees it, they're gonna be intimidated from the rip. Like, I got the cat stroke. I can't even bring this up.
If they see this, they already know.
Mary saying, like, once you get a certain caliber age, you should know how to do that. Right? That's what you're saying.
Why? Wait, time out.
If you coming at me and you don't understand what methodology that it takes, then we don't need to be talking.
Why would your age have anything to do with your experience? Those two things they don't go together, right? Your age and experience maybe for you, right? But your chronological age, most of the time they don't. Most of the time they don't. Especially for
about that.
Yeah, especially for men where women who are not vocal or people are not vocal, men or women are not vocal, and you're doing the same thing over and over again, you're never going to really grow and to meet somebody that helps you grow. And so you meet somebody like, listen, Miss Kitty, Tony the Tiger, that's not what we're doing here. I don't know why you're 97 years old still doing that. Right? You haven't learned, right? So I'm not gonna say it. I don't ever want to get mixed up for experience and time. You know, because they don't go together.
We agree, but you gotta know how to do one or the other.
You may not run nobody to do either.
I don't think that but it's not about me. Well, it'll be a boundary. Like, yeah, it's not about me.
That's boundary.
Yeah, that's a boundary. We're not no little kitten drinking milk.
You might have a kitten, so you might have to teach. Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with you saying, Doc? What's wrong with you saying? What's wrong with saying kibbles and bits? I want to teach you to be a big boy, because this right here from the sippy cup is not working. I mean, I think that would be the best thing to do.
So we're doing kibbles and bits to Parina.
We're not doing kibbles and bits all the way either, because that's the dog.
But listen, whatever they eat, that was the best thing for you to do in your relationship. That would be.
Yeah, see, Pharaoh drinking the milk. No, Pharaoh, no, we can't.
Hey, don't blame Pharaoh because that's all he knows. The best thing you can do is, like you said, teach. Say, listen.
But she don't feel like doing that, so that's a boundary.
My teaching age, that's over.
She said she done with it.
But
that's my boundary.
See, that makes it very limited because our boundaries should always be in teaching. Every time we're kind of teaching or expressing what we want and how we want it done. That's every relationship we get in the beginning. You need to
go to YouTube or to somebody's sexology class.
But you may not bend like your thing may not bend like the girl in YouTube. You need to
come to the Mary May's sex esteem event. Because you actually have activities that you practice and bend and move and stuff like that.
Listen, that's cool. That's cool in practice, but the game is still different. When you're in that game, it's different. So the best way to learn that home court is for them to show you. Someone took and showed me, like, hey, let me show you things. I'm gonna do my G spot. I'm gonna show you this. I'm like, oh, that's where I got it. Okay, so now mentally, got it. It was trapped. So then when I went next, right to it.
Okay. I can't.
I'm telling you.
He said he went straight to it.
It went straight to it.
Every time.
It was amazing for me and her. It was like, wow, we are here. We have arrived, because now I knew exactly where to go. I know home field advantage. I know the court.
But did you come into the situation drinking kitty milk?
Yes.
No.
Yes, 100%. That actually changed my outlook on things because it showed me where, instead of me guessing, because in my head I'm guessing because I'm doing what I did with the girl before, which might have been good for her, right? Or whoever we know that we're repeating that or creatures of habit. When this person says, this is what I like, this is where you touch, hit this spot, touchdown. I was in the game. I was out. It's so much better for me because it's no guessing. I know here it's going to be a winner. So we're both just really good. Right. That's how I felt. No. Hey, Ruth, I'm telling you, I felt like a good student. I felt like here, had a pretest. I killed the post test, right? I killed it. I feel like I killed it. And I felt very good in the situation because it worked. It was not a guessing game. I knew what to do, and I wasn't in there. I knew where to go, right to it, boom. She's like, I didn't want to come right then, but you didn't have to, could you?
Wow.
But that's why it's great to teach. You know, we should definitely tell people what we want. Then that takes the guessing out of it. It really does. It really helps everything. So,
I think there's a difference between telling somebody what you want and then you got to walk them through it.
Oh, that's different.
I think there's a difference.
There's a big difference.
So when I tell you,
teaching and telling.
Listen, it's how to drive a car, right? But I got to show you how to do it for you to become perfect. So show
in
me.
teaching, you have to model everything.
Right? Come on, talk to them.
You have to model it, and you have to give examples of what you're asking for, so people know what they're doing.
Mary, open your eyes. It's okay.
So if you don't model it, or have you actually taught the person the way they need to be taught?
It's not okay.
So that means that person needs a review, and the review is different with everybody.
Listen, don't be upset if I can't help you get to where you need to be if you didn't give me the GPS. Type in where I need to go, so I can show me where I need to go, and it'll be done.
But also, I need to come with some prior knowledge.
Thank you, prior
knowledge. Yes.
Wait. You
know what?
You need to come with prior knowledge, because when you're dating somebody else, you're adding on to your expertise that you already have. So if you have prior knowledge and you acquire new knowledge, you put it together and you find your way through. It's a mixture of both. It's just not one side.
Right, you need a repertoire.
Yes. That's how you build upon
your not just one
thing.
Yes, that's how you build upon
listen. Yeah. But again, you're all going for something where we're only creatures of habit. I only can do what I know or what I've done. I can't just make something up. So if the women before were a certain way, you're going to get the women before. Okay, Pete, already. So I'm good. I hit it. I'm gonna move on. Right? I'll give it to somebody else who's gonna show me what to do to keep it. I'm just saying, if you're investing in the penis by letting it get between us, you need to show what to do so that we can make sure we help finish. So maybe that 11% will move to maybe 15, because we need you guys to finish just as much. So teach. Don't be too egotistical to teach. Teach. Help us help you. Cause we're gonna come. We're gonna come regardless. I'm let you know.
Right.
Yes. Show me the penis. Say it with me. Show me the penis.
The money. I get it. But I think with some people might just be like, I can help you help me, but after a while I'm just gonna help myself.
Oh, you on the road tonight, huh, Ruth? You on the road tonight, Ruth?
Wow. It's a point.
No, I mean, teach. If you guys would teach what you want, and I think everybody should do that. You should teach what you want, and then if they don't do it, then you got to figure out then if you know what you want to do. And boundaries. I mean, I guess you can have things that you say you're not going to do in the bedroom, and that's okay. But I think you should be able to have them afterwards. Maybe sometime within a relationship. Hey, you still don't want to? Okay. I think I should still be able to ask you that question. Maybe not in the moment. Maybe talk about it outside of it. Listen, I know you didn't like that before. Are we still there? Is there a way we can maybe a little bit? No? Okay. All right. Catch you next year.
And that's different than badgering.
Right.
And
harassing them into situations, talking about it's a penis in your mouth. What the hell?
Right.
We was just sitting next to each other. How the penis just walk in my mouth? Like what?
Yeah.
You let it in?
Is that a boundary? I'm like, you should be okay with that.
That's a boundary.
In my mouth without consent.
First of all,
that's a boundary.
It was consent because lips and teeth had opened for it to happen. So let's stop playing these games like you didn't want it.
No, you could have went like
right.
Oh, that's different. That's rape. They ripped your mouth. Yeah, that's different.
Rape in the mouth, and then you're gonna
need a boundary.
That's different. I just put it on my lip. I put it on your lips and let it knock. And then if it opens up, I'll be good, all right?
This show done turned.
I know that's right.
Did you just say you not? Let me not ask questions. Okay.
You said no more teaching.
Right.
You should already.
So listen. Be unhappy. Be unhappy. I hope you're unhappy because you don't want to teach.
You
have
know
to teach. Okay?
Don't be wishing
Okay?
on people.
You have to be. You have to be. Listen. And I think.
Listen to the pettiness.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm petty. I'm petty because you guys don't want to teach. I think you always teach because even as you get older, you may want something different or done different. You know what I mean? Say your girl, yo, he did it. You may want to try something different. So you need to teach or express what you need because our needs change as you get older. You know what I mean? As you get older, you might want to try something different.
Boundary that has to be renegotiated.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I said, like boundaries. I said boundaries can move. It's not out. Some boundaries can mature. So you may mature out of.
They say the goals are ever evolving.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And that's why diagnoses change.
You need to add that.
You need to add that to the list, right? You heard that, right, Doc?
I be giving you
what?
She said a treatment plan for the bedroom for that project that she told us.
Okay.
Yeah, repertoire.
Yeah, Daryl, you wasn't there for that conversation.
I wasn't. I don't know what you're talking about. Listen, whatever it is. Yeah.
You need a treatment plan because you talking about Kitty Milk to being Tony the Tiger.
Well, again, because we don't know. You don't know. First of all, some women out there like Kitty Milk. That might be what gets them on.
They don't even understand what they're missing out on.
Now you say you don't. How do you know? That might theirs may be set up where that Kitty Milk leads them right to the land of milk and honey. That's where they are set up. Their anatomy is set up so that's hitting right on spot. You feel me? They may have so some people don't need to be all up in here. Everybody's different. I know everyone is different. They all look different where things are placed are different. So you hit it differently. So that may have worked.
Other current event.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Share your current event.
Somebody mentioned the name. I know current events is over, but Meg Thee Stallion is graduating tomorrow from Texas Southern University.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, she is.
Current event.
And it's from an HBCU.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I couldn't share that earlier because it was in the phone.
Okay. So the one boundary we didn't talk about was time. I think that was the only one we didn't hit on.
And I mentioned that when you said material.
We did. I said time already.
Oh, sorry. I missed that.
I don't remember time, but okay.
We didn't really go into it all the time. I mentioned it, and y'all kind of, I don't know what happened.
And then I talked about it. You rewind the tape.
Showing your age, talking about rewind the tape.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
It made me think of a situation I had a long time ago.
Right.
Where I had met an older gentleman and we became friends. So I thought, like, we would go to lunch a couple times a week and just talk.
He was wooing you.
Yeah, come to find out. But he was like, I mean, I must have been in my early 30s maybe, and he had to be all of 80 because something like that. He wouldn't tell me, but it was all in his eyes. You know how the eyes get as you get real old. He wouldn't tell me how old he was. But after about a couple of months of going to lunch, he said to me, I don't want to do this. When are we going to go out at night? And I was like, oh, that's a time boundary. That's a time boundary. You're not going nowhere with me at night. It just made me
he said night. He meant 5:30.
Like, you got to be asleep by 9:00.
It was probably when I'm a shag.
I gotta be home by 8:30 to get my nighttime bed medicine.
But I remember feeling like you're gonna end our friendship because of this. Because I didn't see him no more after that. He was mad. I thought we were just
he
friends.
said,
I'm thinking I'm keeping an older
No, he was
gentleman
courting
company.
He was courtship.
Yes.
Well, you know, it's funny. I think even at night, it wouldn't have looked much different. I think at that age, he just liked having a young chippy on his shoulder, like just to be able to show his friends, I have this around. You know what I mean? That a lot of times that's what it is. You know what I mean? He ain't really better about putting it down as much as just having you around is almost meeting that need. So he probably wanted to have you out around his people.
But to me, it was a boundary because it would look different than lunch. Going out on a date at night. For me.
First of all, you was going out during work time.
Yes, lunch.
Yeah. So
He
you
was
were
courting you though.
What it was you was going out when it was convenient. At night you really could go out your way. That's all it was. You was using them. You was using the 80-year-old man.
That's not true.
Yes, you
that
were.
Is not true.
You were using it for lunch. And when you try to get dinner, at 5:30, you're like, oh heck no, work is done at 5.
Right.
Work is done at 5. Now, you know my work hours.
After a couple
I'll see
of
you when it's convenient.
He knew it wasn't going nowhere. He was like, I can't.
He said, I spent all my social.
I think that's what happened, Cam. He had to put it out there to make sure.
Sure, yeah. He said, I spent all luncheon.
Mm-hmm.
I spent all my little Social Security money on you, and now this is what you do to me. This is what you do to me.
Right. Because he was really courting you, Doc.
I agree with that.
That was going to be something.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
And I don't think he was trying to take it down. He just wanted to go out at night. He might have tried to grab something, but
he was trying to take it down.
He was trying to shag.
I don't think men ever stop trying to take it down. I don't care how old they are.
Well, I mean, with the venture of the little blue pill, I get it. It could have been, but I don't think it was. I don't think he was trying to take it down. I think he was trying to progress it to the next stage of relationship would be nighttime.
Go out at night.
5:30. 5:30 dinner.
No, I'm not doing that.
Camp, you know what it remind me of? Or she talking?
Wait, I'm sorry, real fast. I said, she said, oh, he gonna end our friendship over that. You gonna end your friendship over that. You was like, I'll take lunch, but I won't take anything else.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so you ended the friendship.
No, he had a choice. He could have continued the friendship, and we
was that real friendship?
His choice was keep feeding me for lunch or nothing. That was his choice.
That was it.
Do I need to quote Megan again?
Right.
And it took him months to say something. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, we're just friends.
Yes, we're just friends.
As she was describing him, what it reminded me of was when I came to your renewal of your vows, and that your family member who was of seasoned age was like saying he was trying to take me out on a date, and I was like, I
remember.
Where we do that at?
So I'm speaking to two ageist here. You guys are ageist.
I'm not an ageist.
You're ageist.
No, but my family member was very. But my family member was very enthralled.
One said.
He was extremely enthralled.
He was. He wanted you married.
One said, I don't do seasoned, and the other one said, season only can take me to lunch. Ageist.
That is ageism, I guess, Daryl, isn't it? Ageism.
I got a boundary.
I
mean, but Mary was very respectful and nice about it. She was very respectful. And
Doc everything was just being fed for lunch for free. She's like, you know how much he saved those months? She's gonna save so much money for lunch.
For months.
Meanwhile,
that's what the main quarter.
Listen, meanwhile, she done use all this man's Social Security. He eating beans every night. He can't afford his medicine.
You should have set some boundaries.
Yes.
Blood sugar daddy come up at age 70.
Listen.
They can't go past 70?
Ruth, your ages too. Let me find your ages too. You see ages too, I tell you. Oh yeah, I can't believe you.
Can't go below my age,
right?
At a certain point, and then wear caps and going above. Like really?
Gotcha. That makes sense. I mean, we all have preferences. There's nothing wrong with having a preference. I hate when people get upset with people's preferences. Yeah, we have we have a preference, and there's nothing wrong with it. If you don't, well, that's okay.
Oh man, yes, I remember at that wedding. I was like, "Well, damn, can I dance with anybody else? I guess not."
No, because he really wanted to marry.
He was violating all type of boundaries.
Being in all the fields that we're in, including teaching, you have to set time boundaries. Because I know if you're teaching kids, they want your time.
Yes.
Even when you're supposed to be doing something else.
Yes.
And I know with clients, they want your time.
They do.
Even if you have other stuff to do, they act like they're the only people on your roles.
And tell other people to get out.
But if I've given you a task, I need you to do just that. Like, I've given you the skills to do this assignment.
Right. And time boundaries are really big relationships, especially when starting. You have to let people know what time you have available. Like, listen, I only have this, and this is what I can't really. It may not be flexible, depending on your work schedule or your business or whatever. It may not be flexible, and you let them know up front, like, listen, I'm sorry.
Also,
this
is my
availability.
Like, how long do we plan on? Like, when you start being in a relationship, how long are you planning on dating me? Like, some people have a time boundary. It's like, where are we going with this?
How long do you plan on dating me?
Look,
we got a time limit on that.
Certain people of certain ages and have certain intentions. Yes, they like we can only date. Right. What are your intentions?
What are we doing? Because if we
and especially, if you're a woman of a certain age and you want children, then you do have to put some time limits on how long you're gonna be playing around with these people.
So then doesn't that make you? So doesn't that make you now? Isn't that undue pressure on yourself because you're like, so that makes you sometimes jump into a bad situation when you have that boundary that's forcing your hand. Like, this next dude gotta be it because. So now you forgo all your other boundaries for a time boundary. So you're in trouble.
Say mix all of it. I'm gonna do IVF.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's different. But if that boundary now forces you to do or compromise on your other boundaries, we may have to readjust the margins because how it sounds to me, if that woman is having boundaries, because I got to have it for kids or something, then you're going to attach yourself to somebody that may not be for you.
I see what you're saying.
Happens.
That would be that kind of boundary. I don't think it's healthy. Yeah, I don't think that's a healthy. Well, again, you're asking a question that don't make sense because who's going to tell you the truth? Most people don't tell you the truth. So some of these things, I'm not going to have a time limit. Like, you only can date me for this long, and then what? Then magically going to be, that don't make sense to me.
And you setting the precedence that you're going to say something and you're going to break the boundary or move the needle or renegotiate because now it's time invested and people going to look at you differently because now you want, you done said 6 months and now it's a year and a half and ain't nothing occurred. And,
Right.
I mean, I feel like
or I can use that advantage.
You can use what?
I can use it to my advantage because I can use it to my advantage. So you're like, look, I only want to date for 6 months, and then after that I want to get married or whatever the next step is. I'm like, cool, I got 6 months. Right? In 6 months, I'm out.
I got 6 months.
You're setting yourself up by using that as a boundary. Like, I'm like, all right, so I don't those don't make sense. Some things I don't really think you could put a boundary on like that, like a time limit to date. That's weird because that's something that I think organic. Huh? Time limit on love?
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
No. I understand that. Put a time limit on. I don't think necessarily. Now you could say, look, I'm looking for something. You could kind of tell what you want. In that sense, like I want this. I want to be serious, and hopefully it works out. But I mean, when you reveal your hand, like sometimes I got to get you jammed up. I'm like, ooh, I got 6 months of playtime. Then she out of here. Because what do you do? Like I said, it has to be, I keep saying the word consequence, but what are you going to do when that boundary is violated, that time is hit? What are you willing to do? Are you going to walk away? If you renegotiate your boundaries at that time, then your boundaries are at this point null and void, right? Because I know, or we get to, we're going to talk about it and change it up anyway. So I think that if you don't have a boundary that you can have some type of, I'm gonna use the word consequence because I can't think of anything else. It doesn't work. It doesn't work if you keep changing. If you keep changing your boundaries, that means you don't even believe in your boundaries. I'm not gonna believe in your boundaries. You don't believe them. So you keep moving them. Yeah, all of them. So that makes it invalidates anything you say. Cause I know you're not gonna. I know I can talk you out of it, or we can talk past it, or I can get a couple more months. So you have to. If you're gonna make a boundary, you have to be able to do whatever it is you say you're gonna do at the end of that boundary, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying. Whatever it is, you know, say if 6 months, then 6 months you got to walk away from that person. You can't be like, well, they're a good person, and I didn't know they were gonna be so good. So I'm gonna give it a couple more. Nah, they validated for some things, you know.
We didn't use that word a lot.
Invalidate.
Invalidate.
What was our word last week? That was the word we had.
Individuation.
Yeah. Individuate.
I'm about to bring my mic. Let me get my mic.
So we're gonna have 2 big mics.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay, I see it. Oh, wow. Oh, she
Mary's mic is bigger than yours.
It's a different type of.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
A different type of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's bigger. It might be. It might be. I got Mike and V. I got Mike and V. You see how Mary knows how to handle a mic. I see she does it very nicely.
That's why she don't want no kitty cat.
No catnip.
You said you giving this A1 mic rub out, and you giving me catnip. I'm good.
This is what I'm talking about.
Hey, it's not about how big mic is. It's about how it sounds.
How you use it.
I'm gonna make sure it's connected next time so we can test out how it sounds.
How you use it.
Yeah, it's about how it sounds. Okay, that's what it's about.
It sounds correct.
Wait for the next sound check.
Yes. So that's pretty much all the boundaries.
I think we covered them all very well. I might add.
Yeah, we gave some detail.
I'm sorry. Did we talk about? Wait, did we talk about expectation boundaries?
Which one?
Expectation boundaries.
Expectation.
I don't.
We didn't talk about that.
No, we didn't talk about that.
Nah, we didn't. So there was one. You know what you expect from people. Boundaries around what you expect.
To mind their business.
I'm sorry, it's getting late.
Oh, so this one talks about having extremely high expectations for the other person. You put these boundaries that person can't
unrealistic
possibly reach. Unrealistic boundaries. You're like, hey, I know you can float. I know you can cook, clean, work full time, take care of the kids, and fold the clothes and change the towel. You just have these expectations that they can, and then when they don't meet them, now you're coming down on them. I can't do this 101 things, and then you're trying to do it. The other person trying to do it, burning their stuff out, trying to meet your expectations, trying to meet your boundaries. That could be real.
Yeah, because one, they trying to do something that's beyond their scope, and they might not even have the capacity to meet the expectation that you have, but they're still trying to do it, that they end up burning themselves out.
Right, because they don't want to disappoint you. They're operating in a position of we don't want to disappoint. We want to make sure we make these boundaries. We don't want to disappoint you, which means now your whole goal is to try to make this person happy in something that you can't complete.
Right.
You can't. Sometimes the goal is so high, I can't reach that goal. I can't complete that. Now you're disappointed. Now I'm upset. You're disappointed. I'm not here, but it's futile because we're working in reverse. because we can't ever meet that goal, and that's a problem in that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a big problem where those boundaries are so out of whack. And again, they went into this and like they talked about like, look, hey girl, you strong. I need to do this, and this. And you're like, yeah, I can do this, and this. And then when you're trying to do it, it doesn't change, and you don't reevaluate those boundaries. You don't reevaluate those margins. Say, look, I can't do this, and I'm gonna need help. And now he's upset because maybe one of the things is not done because he maybe not know how hard it is. You're not speaking up. Now you're arguing.
And you're harboring
arguing.
And
right.
You know what?
Right.
I said something earlier.
And you're
Go
feeling
ahead.
actually you're feeling the person that's trying to do everything. You may be feeling defeated. Like,
or
I'm not good. Why can't I do this? Why can't I finish this?
Because you didn't wash the drawers.
Right. So that goes back to that emotional. What did you use the word earlier?
Emotional wound.
Yeah.
Emotional. There it is. That wound, and now it's opening more and more and more. It's emotional.
Childhood.
It's not reopened. It's ripped open.
Wider.
No, because now you're just feeling really bad in this relationship. You're feeling like I can't do it. Oh, absolutely. Which leads to a lot of other things, right? Leads to a lot of other things that can come with that feeling of just worthlessness, inadequacy.
Yes.
And the whole time you could have had a sister wife who could have handled all that for you.
Yeah, your sister wife gonna be handling your husband too. Because she's coming. But that's it. They don't want you no more. They're gonna move you out. They're gonna move you for the newer version.
Wow.
At that point, your husband keeps a sentimental value. Like, I'm gonna keep that in the house because I'm used to it. That they usually good.
Oh, that's horrible.
The old model used to be good.
Wow.
What do you think? What do you think you need the 2.0 for? What do you think you need the 2.0 for?
That's your perspective.
You need a model.
Right.
Okay. All right. That's just me. The newer version is not you right. I want the old version that gets on my nerves, breaks down.
They can make chicken and dumplings and beef stew.
He said, I'm not with you. I didn't marry you for your cooking.
Yeah, but they say wait till a man's heart is through his stomach. Even if it's a good old salad.
No, wait till a man's heart is his flexibility. Oh, I love her. That's the way.
You said flexibility and not through the stomach.
That's why he
not through the stomach. So I can get in her stomach. That's what I do. I can get in her stomach. Hey, listen. I know single life is single life, but I know a lot of people in married life that are just miserable. Okay, I can be miserable by myself.
There's some people who marry you single.
Yes.
Right. At least I ain't in prison in my house.
I had to revisit this one right here. I just had to revisit this.
Mix it up.
This is terrible.
The cooking is hidden in the vows. Yes.
That spoke like a true woman. You're right. I know what it is. I want to eat. Make me a steak. I'm gonna stay home. How many people out there cheating? How many out there cheating going to get a steak? No, it's pussy they're going to get. They're going to get coochie. That's what they're going to get. Yo, I'm going across town because this girl can cook. I ain't never heard that before. Yo, she meaning it.
I didn't heard it.
You putting your life on. You putting her spoken like it's from a true woman. Ain't nobody going across town because she can cook. They going across town because she got a cookie. Now she making cook
but a lot
on
of
top
times
of
they
it.
crossing town. She got good cookie and can cook.
Yeah.
It's both. Not just
First of all, the cooking is that's just we found out coochie.
Yep, it does coexist.
But guess what? But guess what? You can have the coochie without the steak and be okay. Steak without coochie, you're going to somewhere else to get the coochie.
Yeah, but they keep coming back if you got both.
Oh my God.
No, they don't. They don't keep coming back if you have the one, the coochie. Let the coochie dry up. See how many niggas come get the steak. I can take anywhere.
Look again. Give him a look.
I can take anywhere. I'm not wasting. Listen, we ain't driving all the miles for smiles, okay? Smiles and
You
steaks.
drove
No,
miles and didn't even deposit.
And get either
What?
one.
You didn't pay gas and tolls.
That's me. But I was trying something different. You know what I mean?
You trying something different, and did it work?
Yeah. No. Didn't work.
Exactly.
I should have took the coochie. I should have took the coochie. See, I'm proving myself right. I drove all the miles for some food, and it wasn't that good. It didn't satisfy.
Well, I didn't say food, but I'm saying more so with them both coexisting, they'll keep coming back.
No, we're gonna come back for coochie. Most side joints you come back because of the getting that spot.
Yeah, but a lot of side joints cook, and
listen. We don't know a side joint is just that. I can eat at home. I don't come here to eat. I come here to do something different.
Oh, like Mary said, at home you have a salad, but if you get side joint, they can do chicken and dumplings. Okay.
Listen, I don't know. Listen. Why y'all talking about food?
Rude.
I don't care about food. I don't care. I mean, after
that's because you jump into a ceiling.
Yeah, like after I'm done, I might. If you got something to eat, all right, like, this is good, but I gotta go home. You know, she probably cooked too. I can't eat twice. So your cooking is cool. Like damn, you picking up weight? Yeah, can we eat that?
He ate two dinners every night.
I can see that.
Like Braswell, you picked up 40 pounds this month. I know. They both keep cooking.
I'm so surprised that you didn't say you picked up 40 pounds, but don't ask me how much I released. Like that was the response I would have thought you would have came out with.
You don't release
that sounds like something he would say.
That do sound like something he would say, right?
I know, and about a teaspoon released, and the more you do it, it's less than that. So you
said a teaspoon? Oh wow!
You need a different intervention.
Funny.
Oh, did I do that? I can't do it, man. I be talking out loud.
Listen, it is what it is. Coochie over everything. That's what it is.
I want to know how many conversations have we had where it didn't go to coochie and penis.
These things
none.
What? No, we did. We had that the incest one.
That was
emotional incest. Yeah, I think that came up too.
I know it didn't. That was a weird one.
Zero.
Okay, we'll watch it back. I remember. I know I didn't bring it up because I thought it was a weird conversation. It was kind of awkward. You couldn't really get it joking on that one. It was kind of somber.
But it was
like, ooh, yeah, that one was different. But other than that, most of these things make the world go round. What you mean? Everybody trying to get it. That's what we're trying to get. Everybody trying to get it. That's what you're trying to get. We get a job for it. We get a car for it. We wear clothes for it. Loan for it. This is what it is.
Gucci.
Yeah, yeah.
That must be the male perspective.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay, you're right. You guys don't get dressed for dick. You're right. You ain't wearing no heels for penis. I got it.
No, we wearing them because we got a closet, a room. That's the whole shoe. That's the shoe room.
No. You know that it toots them legs up, them calves up, and the ass up. You know why you wear them. You know, because you're gonna look that. Stop it, women. Why are women not just tell the truth?
For that. I can get that look out. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't say it. When same thing. You wearing stuff because you know people will see. Definitely a male. Yeah, no, definitely an honest perspective over here. I wear it because I like it. No, you wear it because you like how you received in it. That's why. That's why you wear it. You got your hair done because you know
I think people actually like wearing certain things on their shoe game.
I agree with
and
that.
it don't have nothing to do with what it attracts. Now,
what
it attracts is an added layer, but like I went to the store and I selected this $2,000 pair of shoes or this whatever price tag shoes is not because how many people are gonna like me that day.
It is.
It's gonna be like
It is.
this complements this outfit, or
This
a
is what I like to
couple of
wear.
outfits. It's
It's my
interchangeable.
game.
It's comfortable.
This makes my ass look big, so I'm going.
Your ass is big, no matter what shoe I wear.
Right. What shoes got to do?
No.
Shoes
no.
on equal ass.
Some shoes accent your ass. Stop it.
Really?
You know, these pumps make my ass look big and make it sit up. You know
That's
this.
somebody that's wearing a too tight skirt.
Okay, a pencil
That's
skirt.
What?
Where you can see the crease of their ass.
Oh my goodness. Now nobody knows everything. No, okay, stop.
I know that they can.
Ruth, stop.
They can make your legs look different or look good,
it makes that calf,
accentuate your legs.
right?
And they accentuate your legs.
And then that walk changes in, right?
It got to, so you don't wobble your ass and fall.
Oh no, everybody can't walk in heels. Some people be looking like they're walking downhill. Not attractive. But
that's why they wear sneakers.
Right. And guess what? And you know, listen, and when you see a girl who look like, oh, what she got, she look a mess. She look terrible. Because you know it look bad. You know nobody want to see that. You're dressed for likes. Let's be honest. You dress for likes.
Oh, not me. I don't give a shit.
I really put on like 20 colors.
Some people, some people don't. But I'm saying most people dress for likes. You know, you dress because you want that should look like.
About their character, Daryl. Like, what if they're dressing for likes? Like, what is that say about their character?
Doesn't really say anything about character. We are driven socially by what the fads are, what everybody else is doing. Most people aren't doing their own thing. We are led by whatever is hot right now. We're whatever in the magazine, whatever you see. That's what we're led by: marketing, commerce, buying. This is American way.
Yeah,
that's who we are. We're a bunch of advertisers. Not many people just wear what they want to wear. Not many people are not what we call in style, right? No, not many people. There are some people that don't, but most people are. Even you probably have a style that
afford them styles. It's like I choose not to afford those styles. Let me be clear.
But you probably have a style that's based after whatever you like, right? It might be whatever. I don't know what it is, but we all have a style, which is usually based off of something that we feel that we look, and we feel like we look good in what we wear. I don't think people put something on like I look like trash in this. I'm gonna wear this. I don't think that really happens. I think we're gonna put on things that accents our body, that makes us look or present it the best way. That's just what we do, and if we say we're not, we're lying. Like
I think style is cultivated over time, though. I was actually working with someone who's trying to create her own style in her 30s, trying to decide what her style is now.
Right. Yeah. And where's she looking at?
Huh? She's looking in various stores and trying on different things to see what she feels good in.
Professions too that are stylists.
Mm-hmm.
Like they will come into your closet and review
see
your closet.
What feels good and comfortable. Because not everyone is comfortable in everything.
Right. And usually when you see it on the mannequin, you're like, yo, I want to try that. Because you get a visual. Right? You're like, yo, usually that mannequin is directed by what they feel is stylish. Mm-hmm. So now you're still conforming to the styles that are going down, so you still almost are inadvertently, maybe not knowing, feeding into what is so cold at that time or wherever you're at, you know? So I'm just saying, we're most of the time we wear things because we want to look good in it, as good as possible.
So Daryl, can I ask a question?
You can ask a question. Go ahead.
So my question is looking at, I think you have a 2-button on or a 3-button. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3, right?
2.
Okay. When did the fashion change that the top button wasn't open anymore? Is that like an old head thing, or like where did that fashion style change up at?
So I think when I went to North Jersey, when I was up there a lot, people would wear their stuff tied all the way up. And even Philly, they would wear their stuff all the way tied up like that. And I just got accustomed to being comfortable that way. For me, with the shirt open, it feels weird to me. Literally, it feels weird. It looks weird. Don't look as good.
So is that the way it looks on the mannequin?
I don't know. Well, first of all, I don't shop. I don't shop in stores. I shop at Goodwill. I don't go in regular stores to shop. I don't. That's too much for me. I don't go in stores. I was raised on Goodwill. My mom owned Goodwill stores, and we got in Goodwill. So I go places like that. I'm never gonna buy anything. $10 for a shirt? You're shitting me. I'm not doing it. That's crazy. I go to Goodwill, I get 6 shirts for $10. You understand me? So let's stop playing. And like, you look hard enough, these come through. They'll come through. Like sometimes, whatever. So I don't. So I wouldn't say my style is always behind. Because when it gets to Goodwill, it's probably a couple years behind. So I have it, but it'll just be late. I'm like, oh, that was 3 years ago. I got it now.
I just have seen men recently with the top button up. So I just thought, since we were talking about fashion and where people follow and this, that, and the third, that I would be able to ask you that safely without any. I think it just came. I might have just came back to the style. It might have been people might started doing it again, right? I just always do it, but since I'm so comfortable this way, like some styles I can't get, like sometimes the kids will wear their joggers, their workout pants, and they'll pull the socks up over, their socks go up over the joggers now. I can't do that. It's not me. I don't like it. I tried it. It looks weird. I don't do it. So sometimes.
He did just now, right?
Yeah, just now.
Yeah, he did just now.
So don't be co-signing that. So some styles you don't get on board with, but I think but like I said, what I'm saying, whatever it is, I think you're wearing because you think you look good in it. You think you're attractive in it. You think, what I mean, it may not be mainstream style, but you still, whatever you're wearing, you think you look good in it. I rarely go outside with something I like to trash in it, but I'm gonna wear it. Unless I'm running to the store or something really quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, image is everything. We're in an image-driven society right now, right? Image is almost everything. And you don't, and you never know who you're gonna see. Beyonce may break up with Jay-Z and be at Goodwill. I had to shoot shot. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
So
happy birthday, Jay! Shout out to the Sages. Z.
Happy birthday, Jay!
Yes.
Where the cake at?
Oh God, he keeping the cake to himself.
See, we gotta share the cake.
Did you see what Miss Ruth said?
Right. I know Ruth is secretly on my team.
Oh my God.
I know she is. She's just trying to be opposite. I know Ruth. It's okay. We're here. I see you. We're here.
So Daryl, from
healthy boundaries with Ruth and her comments.
Wow.
So Daryl, you had a list of making sure that we covered all of the boundaries being good and renegotiating and all of that. You got something else on your list?
So no, that was the last one with expectation boundaries, and so we actually covered all of them that I've seen, including what Ruth put up there, or Neil. So we definitely making sure. Yes, all of them. Because they said it's 7 different types, and there could be more, but 7 basically, basic types of boundaries. But I think the biggest thing is just we've got to discuss them. Keep your boundaries to yourself. They don't help.
Exactly.
They don't help if you're not in a position to express these boundaries to your partner.
Exactly.
She's correcting you.
It's rude. It's precious.
Hey, could you block her, please? Could somebody block her for the rest of the show? Just block her. For the rest of the show.
It would kind of be illegal to do that.
Oh, if I ever get the button, you're in trouble. Okay? As I was doing,
you gotta express yourself.
If you ever get the button.
If I get the button, you're in trouble. You're gonna be gone. I'm gonna eject you right out of the room. But yeah, I think, and that's really the biggest thing, and we kind of said it in the beginning, where when you're by yourself, you need to make sure you know what you want going in, and then be confident confident enough to express those boundaries to whomever you're dealing with. If they can't receive the boundaries, you need to set a boundary up to say, look, if they can't receive my boundaries, then this might not be for me. You know, if you can't even receive the boundaries, if you got a bunch of, listen, this is what I want. It's not negotiable. This is not negotiating at this point when I'm talking about boundaries. It's not a negotiation. This is how I feel. This is what I want, right? Take it or leave it. Lay down and get down. That's really what it is.
This is what I need. He said, take it or leave
But
it.
you got to be that. This is how you got to be when you put your boundaries. And the problem is, if our boundaries are flimsy, then you might as well hang it up. People will walk right over that. You really have to come up with that energy and be strong enough to say, this is what I want. This is what I don't want. This is what I expect. And if you don't want that or expect the same things, then I don't see how we can go any further.
Yeah.
So it's been nice. Can I hit it one more time?
Hit it, baby, one more time.
Can we go out? Can we go out with a bang? That's just all I want to know.
The bang already happened, deuces.
So
you come with kitty milk. Bye.
Yeah, I know, but why can't we go? Okay, you're right.
Kitty
you sure you don't want these kitty? You don't want to get?
Sure.
Yeah.
She said we done.
Might change your life. Might change your life.
Kitty milk ain't changing my life.
But at that point, then that's when you have to. Again, I think.
And I'm not teaching. I wasn't put in the category of being a teacher, but I'm not. And I am a teacher, but I ain't teaching.
You are.
But that's really that to me is really. I wouldn't think that.
It's
I wouldn't
concerning,
think that,
girl. I need a session.
No, I'm just saying not a session, but it's one of those like. I would think that you would be in the but like, look, this is what you need to do.
I have been.
But she over there.
And go on only because you're older and more experienced doesn't mean that person is. And that person may need you to bring them up to speed. So I would, especially if everything else was right, I would say, you know what? Let me invest in just showing this person what's going to make me feel better. So it's really for you. You're doing it really for yourself at the end of the day, right? But it benefits both of you. But I would want, like, for me, I want someone, like, I'm mindset from this show, I want you to teach me what you want. I want you to show me.
You judge
No,
me?
I'm saying, no, not at all. Not at all. I just would think that you would teach. Because one thing I know now, like, I want to talk, I want to learn, I want to be able to be better for my partner. I can be better sometimes if you show me or tell me what you want. And sometimes I'm kinesthetic. You can tell me.
But I'm not teaching. I teach all the time from a professional standpoint, not a personal.
So why wouldn't you teach in the most important thing to you? This is your partner. I would teach them. That's who I want to teach. Other people I teach, I have to. This person teach because I
think Mary is saying that's they don't even get to become partner.
Exactly.
Because you're blocking your blessing by being not teaching.
I teach all day. I don't want to teach at home.
Listen, I got all this meat for you. I just don't know how to use it right. Show me how to use it. Yeah, all that. And you gonna say,
but use it on somebody else and just come back.
I don't want the tree trunk because I don't feel like teaching.
It ain't always about the tree trunk though, like intellectual conversation, like
you're getting all that, right? So because hopefully, wait a minute, hopefully we do things in a certain type of order, and you know about the conversation and the mind and the emotional before you give up the cookies. If you give the cookies before you get all the other stuff,
before then I'm disconnected.
Well,
if you put me on a platter before you establish the intellectual and the mind, situation.
Wait a minute. If he put you on a platter, I'm pretty sure you got on the platter.
He put me on a platter. If he puts me on a
here
platter,
here we go again. No accountability. These conversations are crazy. You got on the platter.
Applies to next week's conversation, so we could just add this into next week's conversation. Let me make sure I add this to my notes for the green room.
He said accountability.
Yeah,
there ain't no accountability. Women I'm seeing have little to no accountability.
In what way?
It's crazy. Even in the question asked this week, and it was like if he, it was an ambiguous. It didn't give a gender, and like, well, he. It ain't say nothing about him. It said people.
You said a post in the group.
Yes, and I know Ruth. Me and Ruth were kind of talking about it. You checked out and didn't come back in at all. You just left it alone. And I can't remember what it was, but it's like
it was a couple little spicy things this past week.
Right. It was kind of bubbling a little bit. Like I said, it's always he did this. He.
I think society programs us to default to he.
Right.
I think program themselves to default to he. Because I don't see he.
I think society does that because even in a conversation I had earlier with someone, they were trying to talk about their parents, and they basically essentially said, well, I have my two parents, and they began to describe what we were talking about. And they said, and then my other dad said this, that, and the other. And I was just like, it's 2021. You're right.
Right.
You're right. I mean, I was ready for the gender neutrality and cultural sensitivity, but it was like just the way that they introduced it. I was like, okay, because first it started both parents, and then it was like, okay, well, one of my parents, he this, and then my other parent. And I'm like, because I was like, well, why is the other parent called the other parent until it was identified? I was like, okay, it's 2021.
Dang. Right. Cool.
So anywho,
very interesting.
I think this is our longest show yet.
It's been real.
Yeah.
On boundaries.
That
being good. And I think we've talked about boundaries before, but not in this capacity.
No.
So, Friday nights, sip and chat. This is the longest conversation. We try to do an hour, maybe hour and a half, but sometimes we get a little spicy, but sometimes the current events go a little over too. So it'd be a mixture of love just being shared. So we have next Friday before we take our break.
Yes.
Okay.
Amen.
For the holidays. So we thank you for those who joined us live, who catch us on the replay, or catch us in our weeks that we are off. We look forward to serving you, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Anybody want to have any closing thoughts? Are we good? We got the little cake wave.
We're gonna have a whole nother hour.
Good night.
Closing thoughts will be another hour.
Would you
love, peace, and soul?
Who you love? Well, Ruth said, great chat as usual. Love you. We love you too, Miss Ruth.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't say Neil, Daryl, because you don't have that privilege.
Goodbye, Neil.
You said it anyway, of course. Bye, y'all.